justice for all.
Yeah. All right. Thank you all for being here. So, did you already, can you do the roll call, please? Or you did already? I don't know.
Councilmember Johnson,
Present.
Councilmember Manning, Councilmember Reyes English,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Montero,
Present.
Mayor Vargas.
Here. And Councilmember Manning is excused. So we have 4 presentations. We just like to remind the presenters that we have like a 10-minute limit on this in order to have an efficient meeting today. Okay, so just be mindful of that. And but we have some interesting topics, right? So let's get started today. Pastor John L. Jefferson, Delaware Baptist Church. There's a presentation listed here, or does that get pushed back?
That's for me.
Yeah.
Okay. We wanted to thank our community when they hit milestones for being in our community and serving our community, as Delaware Baptist Church has done under the leadership of Pastor Jefferson. And they will be celebrating their 80th anniversary in Hawthorne this Sunday. And I have 2 proclamations that I am asking Mayor Pro Tem Alex Montero to deliver on Sunday, but I just want to read them for you here for the official record. This is for Delaware Baptist Church, honoring them. In 1945, Delaware Baptist Church was founded in the heart of the South Bay as a house of worship, a refuge for the community, and a spiritual foundation for families in Hawthorne and the surrounding areas. For 80 years, Delaware Baptist Church has faithfully served the community by offering worship, discipleship, outreach, and unwavering support to generations of individuals seeking hope, healing, and faith. The church has been a place not only for spiritual growth, but also a pillar of compassion, supporting education, youth development, food distribution, family counseling, and building partnerships that strengthen the social fabric of our city. Under the current leadership of Pastor John L. Jefferson, Delaware Baptist Church continues to thrive as a welcoming congregation devoted to worship, service, and making a meaningful impact on the community. The members of Delaware Baptist Church have consistently lived out that mission through acts of kindness, faith, and justice. The City of Hawthorne is proud to honor and congratulate Delaware Baptist Church on the occasion of its 80th anniversary. We extend heartfelt appreciation of the steadfast presence, moral leadership, and enduring contribution to the spiritual and civic life of our city. And then I'd like to read the one honoring Pastor Jefferson. And again, these will be presented at their 80th anniversary on Sunday. Pastor John L. Jefferson has faithfully served as the spiritual leader of Delaware Baptist Church in the city of Hawthorne, California, providing guidance, inspiration, and unwavering dedication to his congregation and the greater community. Under Pastor Jefferson's leadership, Delaware Baptist has been a beacon of hope, compassion, and service, offering not only spiritual nourishment, but also vital outreach programs, community support, and educational initiatives that have uplifted countless lives. He has demonstrated an extraordinary commitment to faith, family, and community through decades of pastoral leadership, mentoring, counseling, and advocacy. His deep moral integrity, tireless service, and heart for ministry have earned him the admiration and respect of church members, fellow clergy, civic leaders, and citizens throughout the city of Hawthorne. Pastor Jefferson's legacy is not only found within the walls of Delaware Baptist Church, but also in the many lives he has touched, the families he has strengthened, and the community he has helped to build. The City of Hawthorne does hereby recognize and commend Pastor John L. Jefferson for his outstanding service, faithful leadership, and lasting contributions to the spiritual and civic life of our city. We extend our deepest gratitude and blessing for his continued health, strength, and purpose he continues to serve.
Thank you. All right, so this will be presented on Sunday, right, by the Mayor Pro Tem? Okay, thank you. That's awesome. Before we continue, I would like to ask or invite everybody who's in the audience and everybody who's listening out there through cable to download the 311 app that you can find through, what's the application? How would I type that in into the search bar, Mr. City Manager? What would I type in? My 311 app and the, or, yeah.
My Civic.
My Civic? Just My Civic, right? So if you go to your apps.
Actually, it's My Hawthorne 311. That's the new name for it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so
instead of My Civic, you'll get other
can
cities.
you go ahead and tell people? Just you could.
Yeah, it's
Give them the
My-
step-by-step instruction, 3 steps.
Yeah, if you go to your app store, to whatever phone you have, whether it's an Apple or an Android, you search My Hawthorne 311, and it'll pop up with the city's official app for that.
Okay, good. Thank you. And the reason I highlight that is because that's the way you are going to be communicating with us as a city. It's a direct way of communicating to the people, the boots on the ground that are taking care of the issues for the city. People who might be trimming the trees, paving the sidewalks, code enforcement, all those different groups that you kind of feel that you need attention from, and for them to address something, it'll go immediately to them. And that way, we have a record that you called, because many times, I hate to say it, sometimes people say, oh, I called 3 or 4 times, okay. And we don't have a record of it, and there's no proof of it. It might be true, somebody might just be blowing smoke. So we need to have a record of that so we could be held accountable also, right? And so we can get some stuff done, okay? Come into the city council meeting and say, hey, I need my tree trimmed or something because it's, I mean, you know, you're wasting your breath if you could get something addressed most immediately through that app, right? Thank you. Okay. City clerk, you have an item, city clerk stewardship, strategy and service. Go ahead, ma'am.
Good evening. Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, council members, staff, residents. My name is Dana Williams-Hunter, and I proudly serve as your 13th elected city clerk. Today, I'll walk you through some of the important happenings in the city clerk's office. My focus is on 3 areas where we've recently made major changes that improve efficiency, reduce costs, and ultimately serve our community better. This will be practical, easy to follow, and most importantly, it will show you how these things and how these improvements, what these improvements mean to you as a member of the public. So we start with the mission. Mission is very simple, but it's very important, and that's to keep the city running smoothly. We do this by managing official records, conducting elections, supporting public meetings, processing legal documents, making sure we remain open and accessible to everyone. The foundation of our work is accuracy, transparency, and accessibility. Every document, every agenda, every interaction is handled with care because those details matter and is what builds trust. So let's talk a little bit about what the city clerk does. City clerk does a lot of things here. Many responsibilities, the elections, the records, minutes, agendas, so much more, but because the work is so broad, it's impossible for me to cover everything in my 10 minutes. So I'm going to focus on 3 key areas where we've implemented real improvements for efficiency and service, and that's agenda management, public record requests, and record digitization.
That's good.
And I want to kind of give you guys an idea for some of the things that I've done to prepare to handle these things. I've obtained my certified municipal clerk designation. I'm a mentor for the California Municipal Clerk Association. I'm in pursuit of my master municipal clerk designation and also a member of ARMA, so I've had to study a little bit about records. So the agenda process, the agenda that you have in your hand is a process. Basically, we have to coordinate with departments. They send us staff reports. We have to check those staff reports, ensure proper formatting. We have to seek legal approval, and then we publish it and distribute it. And all of these things have to be done within the legal deadlines and according to the Brown Act. So, up until last year, we used a different vendor for our agenda management. Unfortunately, it caused a lot of issues. We were here late many nights, just trying to meet the Brown Act deadline to have it posted within 72 hours. So we wanted to kind of move away from that and kind of centralize our agenda management. So what we did is we switched from the one company to Agenda Quick, and the results have been very significant. Less overtime, smoother communication, and improved tracking. We're already planning for Senate Bill 707. Should it pass, we'll be required to publish our agendas in Spanish or in the language where you have more, that represents 20% of your residents, which for us it'll be Spanish. We'll be prepared for that. Agenda Quick is actually scalable, and they are going to handle our translating for the agendas. So the community benefits for this, I don't know if you all noticed, but the fonts are much cleaner. The agenda looks a lot better than it did last year. You can actually subscribe to it relatively easy online, and now our agendas are posted timely. So let's talk about public record requests. That is a whole process within itself. People request records. We have to then send out to receive those records, and then we give them back to the public. For a long time, we basically used an Excel spreadsheet. And that kind of caused confusion because backtracking those things, trying to find information or trying to track down a public record request, it was just a lot to do. So we decided to centralize that as well using Agenda Quick. They had a portal that would actually receive our public record requests. People are able to do this online, no interruption with that. But it actually streamlines things so that we can actually see what's going on, and we can assign tasks, and we can receive information all in one portal, and it makes it a lot easier for our office. The community benefits for this, faster response times. A lot of times I think before we were kind of slow with response times. The new process kind of separates it so it can be general or maybe a police request. And the portal is a lot easier to use. And lastly, and this is the strategic project, record digitization project, which is in progress now. We actually started last year discussing it and planning for it, and now we're actually in the trenches now. So we had decades of paper that we inherited, just boxes and boxes of paper. Approximately 220 boxes we have right now. Inconsistent organization, outdated formats. Some of the papers that we have are so old that they are yellow and starting to disintegrate. So it's time, I don't think it's ever been done in the city before, that we actually go through and do a paper digitization. All right, so this began last year. We started talking about it, how we wanted to do it. I actually went to Oakland to take a few record seminars so that I could understand exactly how to manage this. I worked with an ARMA specialist who, has done very large-scale projects with boxes, and basically she kind of kept us in line. We worked with the South Bay Workforce Investment Board. We had interns come in, and we actually have boxed everything up and identified what needs to be destructed or what is legally capable of being destructed, and we've set those aside so that we can now go through and remove paper clips, any type of bindings, staples, and everything have to come out before these things are digitized. In future planning, we want to work with IT and with our legal team, with the city attorney's office, to talk about posting agreements online. So the community benefits, we preserve historical data. We're going to save money on storage in boxes, and it'll be easier to retrieve documents, which means better transparency for the public here. And that is it. I will take any questions.
To the chair.
Yes.
Quick question. In what order are you digitizing stuff? Like the minutes that you say, let's say you get the minutes from tonight done and they're approved, how long does it take for that to get uploaded into the system?
Well, that is a little bit far off because we still have to go through and remove the staples. We actually have a professional service that IT chose to come in and actually take our documents, to digitize those documents. So in what order they'll digitize them, I'm not sure. There's absolutely no way the city clerk's office would digitize all those records. There are 200 boxes.
So we're not talking about what's in the past. I'm talking about what we currently have. How long will it take for the minutes from tonight, once they're approved, whatever we approve tonight, how long will it take it for those minutes to be up online for people to see them?
Oh, I don't think that'll take long at all, maybe a couple weeks or so. I think we should be pretty good with the minutes. Are you asking about the minutes, or are you asking about the records?
Well, minutes are records.
But what I'm saying is, are you talking about the minutes to go online, or are you talking about the boxes of records?
I'm not talking about the boxes of records, because I know there's a process for that. I just want to make sure that we're not isolating the two, in that the records that we have currently that are like the contracts that we've had within the last 6 months, we need to get those up online before we're prioritizing boxes of ancient.
Okay, so I'll just say we're not putting anything online right now. We are working on organizing the boxes so that we have a service that will come in and digitize the records. Once they do that, then we'll have access to the records through their portal, and I believe that we are going to put them on our own server as well.
Okay, so are we working on putting current records online and available to the public?
So I don't put anything online. We go through a service to put things online.
I understand that, but you're ultimately responsible for that, right? Or is that Vaughn that is doing that?
That's going to be more IT and more because
who manages that contract with that company that we're using to digitize everything? Who's telling them what to do?
Well, they're a professional service, and actually they kind of come in and let us know what they do. You know what I'm saying? They digitize our records, so that's just what they do.
Right.
I'm kind of confused as to your question.
It's not confusing.
Well, it's confusing to me.
Well,
I'm asking you for clarification.
Okay. When are the last 6 months of records going to be digitized and available online for the public to see? That's what my constituents want to see.
Okay, so
and that may be a separate question than what
I think it might be a separate question.
But I'd still like an answer.
Okay, I'll give you an answer.
Okay.
When the Cora Data, who is actually going to do our digitization, when they come out and they take our records, all of the records will be online. We're not isolating records and putting certain things online, and we don't put anything online. Before we put anything online, it has to go through a process. IT has to come up with a way to put them online because we can't just put anything online. And then this has to go through a legal process as well. Robert has to sign off on anything that goes online, anything that leaves this office, and that's for our public records requests, our agendas, or anything that leaves our office goes through a legal process. So I don't see like me taking the last 6 months and isolating and trying to box those things and put them aside. It doesn't work like that. We have way too many boxes to do that. There are too many records for us to do it like that.
So let me on typical contract, what we do is we keep a copy of the hard copy, and and there's a retention schedule. Typically, it's about 2 years. And
the retention schedule's on everybody's desk. Everybody can
I've got
see
it. Thank you.
So after 2 years, let's take an example of a contract. We'll have hard copies. It's all maintained and taken care of by the clerk's department. And so whenever we need a copy, we just ask the city clerk's department, I need to take a look at this contract, and they send it to us. When it's about to be destroyed, then we make a copy and make a digital copy. They're not posted online. If we were to post every document online on city website, I think there would be way too much documents. So when we're in the after retention schedule, when it's ready to be destroyed, we make a copy and we make it digitized and put it in a digital format so that it's always there. And then we could destroy the hard copy. So to answer your question, if let's say a contract entered into 6 months ago, it's not going to be posted online.
Okay, so I've been asking for this since I got elected last year. I've been very clear. I've sent it to you. I've asked you. I've shown you examples of different cities and what they do. And I was told specifically that we're heading towards that. And now I'm being told by the attorney that we're not. So I need some answers, because that's what my constituents want to see. They don't want to wait for a Freedom of Information Act, a FOIA, in order to get access to a contract that's public record that other cities have.
Well, I can tell you one little tip that I do sometimes if I'm looking for a specific contract, and maybe people don't want to do this. If you were to type in City of Hawthorne and whatever company of the contract that you're looking for, it will actually show up as the agenda item along with the contract, and everything is there. And I've had to do that sometimes when I'm looking for records. But what I say to that is the city's been around for 100 and so years, and never has those items been online, and neither have those records been organized or actually digitized. So a patience, I think, it might be required. Or if, and I accept any help from anybody who wants to come into my office and help me organize those papers, because I am elected, so I am ceremonial, but I've been here full time, sometimes 10 hours a day, boxing up things with interns and getting everything together for this destruction, because it has never been done before in the city. So I understand what you're asking for, but what you're asking for has never been done. So I'm trying to navigate the way to do that, but it has to go through a process. I have no way to just throw anything online. And also, when you requested that, we started looking around for companies to actually put those things online, like some of the cities that you showed me.
And so that's what I was asking.
Yeah,
where are we with that request that I made? And I'm not and don't get me wrong, I appreciate that you're here every day. You're an elected official just like we are, and I don't know that any of us could be here full time the way that you are. So don't take that as my questioning as I don't appreciate that, because I do.
I believe that.
The challenge is I'm getting pressure from my end, from my constituents, and I've already asked for it. I publicly asked for it. I asked for it in an email from you with follow-on from that request, and I showed you examples of what we're looking at. I gave it to the city manager also, and I still don't have a clear answer. And it's almost a year that I've been elected, so I got to answer to my people too, just like you do. So how can we fix this?
So are you requesting that we put every contract that city entered into online? Because we're going back, I mean, to how many years?
No, that's not what I'm asking, but why can't we have the last 6 months? This was requested back in December, January. I have to look at the minutes, and we're now September, getting ready to go into October, and I still don't have a plan of action. All I hear is we're digitizing year-old stuff that really, that's not what we want. That's not what my constituents want to see online. They want to see what's going on today, what's relevant today.
I do remember your directive, which was to post every contract online, which is impossible task.
I don't know that I said every contract.
I don't think you made
still nothing is online yet.
I understand, but I don't think you made a clear directive of the last 6 months of contracts.
No. I'm asking, where are they? Why? I mean, we're talking about. Let me finish, please. We're talking about going back years and years and years, and I appreciate that, but that's not necessarily what my constituents are concerned about. Why can't they see a contract that we just entered into? Why do we have to go all the way back and put those on first before we're putting on up-to-date information that's relevant to today?
All right.
Can
I ask questions, or are we?
Yeah, of course.
All right. I'm a supporter of digitizing, absolutely, but I think there's a process that needs to be followed, and I know that they're saying like that the constituents are asking, or some constituents, it's the system of organization needs to be established. It's easier to have paper copies of this stuff right now and being able to get a request and go find it based chronologically, okay? Or it's grouped together, say in the city department's legal the contract section for department, et cetera. So the digits, just throwing something on a PDF or like on a scanner and putting it up there, how are people going to sort through it? How are people going to find
Yeah,
it?
that's not what
can't.
I'm asking.
You can't.
No,
That's not
well,
what
no, but
everybody.
Let me. So, if we were to try to get some of these documents online, I mean, let's be specific of which departments are the contracts are of concern. Is it the public works contracts? Is it the planning department's contracts? If that's something maybe we could like prioritize and go after.
Oh,
so we could
absolutely. And just so that the public knows and that the body knows here, the clerk's office does not have every single record or every single contract. We have our own contracts. But like you said, to your point, Public Works will have their own set of contracts.
Well, then let me at the same, since I'm asking about the organization, like you got the Dewey system that we used to use for like books in the library, right? What's our system of organization? Are you supposed to establish that?
We have an index. We have an indexing system.
Or
already.
are they? Is this company suggesting a way of
We
indexing
have
this?
an indexing system already. So we are going according to our indexing system. So we already have everything numbered, and I actually should have attached that as well. But we have everything numbered. So we have an indexing system already.
Okay.
Does that indexing system just for your documents, or is it for the whole city's documents?
Well, I only have my documents. I don't go into Public Works or into the different departments and do the records.
Go ahead.
Okay. I think what Councilwoman Johnson is saying is we should start to digitize or put things online or on the website from today, go backwards, right?
Okay.
So let's say you have records from 2025, 2024, 2026. So we go from present to the past.
So let me reiterate for you and Councilmember Johnson
Yeah.
that I am not scanning
I
these
know-
records.
I know you're not,
And so
but-
hold on. The company that is going to scan the records is going to come in and take the boxes, and then they're going to scan them. I'm not asking them to say,
Dana,
"Can
hold
you
on one second. But we have to tell them that what we want is for them to start with the present and then go back into the past.
and we still won't be able to.
So no, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
The thing is, basically, let's start with the documents from 2025, and then they go 2024, then they go 23.
Those
22.
items will still be uploaded at the same time. From 2019, 20, 2025, they're all going to be done at the same time.
But they have to go and organize by the
We-
year, by the months,
Yes.
by whatever. So
We have
that's
them
what-
indexed.
That's what we want.
We have a system
From
already.
the present
Yes.
to the past.
They will always be from the present to the past, but guess what? They're all going to be digitized and uploaded at the same time.
Let me.
To
So
the chair.
just let's comment and I'll pass it on to you. We have these. So these contracts. Does the public ever get to see these contracts that we enter into?
Oh, they can see them as soon as any
They're on
contracts
the
that we have tonight.
agenda.
People can actually look online and see them right now. They can
So-
see the contracts right now on the agenda.
So based on a meeting, when a meeting took place and we approved something, people could refer to that meeting and see the attached agenda, the attached contract?
They can Google it.
Do we ever enter into contracts as a city council without voting on them?
No.
Okay, does the city manager enter contracts without our, well, some, right? Minor?
Under
Or
25,000.
Under 25,000. Do we have access to those if we ever wanted to?
Through a public records request, yes.
So, I mean, it's not like we don't have the transparency available. It's there, so.
The problem is the organization of the records because
That's
I'm
what I'm
only
saying.
one person doing it. I have 2 other people in my office, and the only person who actually offered me help was Katrina Manning. She actually sent interns in to help me because, as I said before, this is a tedious process. It's meticulous. You can't go through and start saying, well, we're going to wait, let's separate this year, that year. There's already so many ways to separate things, and you can get lost in the sauce. So we're not doing that.
And then, yeah.
Go ahead.
I just don't want to screw this up, man, just because
Yeah,
we're
of
just
course,
rushing
right.
through it. But,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I want to make sure that you're also taking steps forward in this process. You know what I mean? So what is this company, what do they say? Have they written down like the estimated time of turning everything over?
No,
Have they
so-
said anything or what?
What we're in the process of doing right now is after we've boxed up we boxed up about 150 boxes. We have about 225 or 250 or so. Once we get rid of the records that are legally able to be destroyed, then we're going to go through, we have to go through every single box again. And with every box, we have to remove staples, clips, binders, anything that does that. About 150 boxes. I don't know how long that's going to take us to do. But once that's done, then the digitization company will come in and they will take the boxes, they will digitize them, and they will put them all up on DocuWare, where I've actually done some training on DocuWare right now, where we'll be able to go through and pull whatever we need from a public record request or just anybody asking for the record here in the city.
Mr. City Attorney, do you have to, do they have to go through you to review them, to see the nature of the type of documents that we're going to upload before you put them up?
It usually, not, so whenever it becomes a public document, it has to go through our office to see whether there is a exemption from public disclosure. So those are things that, that we do. It's public records request doesn't just involve contracts, but various matters that they'll ask for. Okay. So they have to be, some of them are easy public documents that we could easily quickly produce, but some it has to go through categories of whether they're exempt as a public document.
Maybe we can have some key ones that we could put up there. Maybe the trash contract. Maybe we could have a contract with specific vendors or specific large vendors. Maybe we could focus on those. I mean, those could be easily put up, but.
Well, we have to have a portal to put them online. You have to have a way to put them online. Okay. I mean.
Go ahead. Go
Through
ahead.
the chair.
Yes.
Thank you. Let me first of all, Dana, recognize your efforts. Thank you for what you're doing in the city clerk's office.
Appreciate you.
I'm not here to pounce on you, but to say basically, I understand the city clerk's office, being a former city clerk myself. It's not an easy task. You do need help, and I'm so grateful that you have at least 2 to 3 people in your office every day trying to do the work. You've come a long way with regards to how the city does city business in the city clerk's office. Folks need to understand, since the establishment of the city of 1922, that's how far back we have records. And in that time, we've never done digitalization, ever. It's always been paper. So for folks that read the agenda, whether it was emailed to you, whether you go online, you look it up, there's attached documents to every item on the agenda, including contracts. We all share constituents, so I don't know of any constituent asking me for documents. We all share the same constituents. So having said that, you continue doing what you do with our help. In any way possible that you may need it, we will be here to support you. It's my hope that we get additional training done in the city clerk's office so that everyone is on one accord. When you're not here and you're out training, doing what it is that you need to do, that we have folks, deputy city clerks and those in the city clerk's office to continue the work. Everything goes through the city attorney's office. This has been historical. It's nothing new. There's processes, as the mayor said, for everything. And we're going to continue in those efforts. And if there's new tools that we're using, we're going to continue to use those new tools because it works. Until something doesn't work, we won't know that. But we're anew right now. And what's working for you works for me. And if it's helping you, it's helping me. And at the end of the day, if folks in the community, constituents or businesses or those alike, want information from the city clerk's office, you know exactly where to direct them on how to retrieve that and how to receive that.
Absolutely.
Public records requests are a different effort. Public records request needs a timeline of 10 days to receive your records based on what information you're providing. And if you're not providing actual correctional information, you're not going to receive it. So again, the city clerk's office is a major department in the city function, city operations, and the historic history of the city. And so I commend you on the presentation, on your help that you're receiving, the ARMA training that you received, and individuals that have come in to take those boxes for you, some 200 boxes to be able to help you with those. Scanning each of those documents, over 200 papers, it's not easy. It's not easy, and it takes a lot of time. And yes, you are an elected official, but you take it upon yourself to be here 5 days a week, 8 hours, 10 hours a day. And I commend you for that. And that's something we should all be proud of here, because we're here to support each department in what they need. And again, not here to dictate to you how you do your work, but to appreciate what you do. So thank you for your presentation.
Yeah, go ahead.
Again, like I said, I do appreciate you. I'm bringing my experience to the table. That's what I was elected to do, just like you are. And in my experience, we don't not try to fix things that aren't broken. That's something you did back in the 80s, and it doesn't work today. We are trying to be number one in our area. And when you can look online and see other cities that are way beyond what we're doing, that's not a blight on you, that's a blight on us up here, because we're settling for mediocre. And I don't want to settle for mediocre. And my constituents, I don't know who her constituents are, but my constituents are talking to me.
The same constituents.
I'm talking.
They're the same constituents.
I'm talking. Exactly. Thank you, Mayor. The thing is that I have to bring to you and to this council the concerns that the people that I talk to have. And with my experience, there are ways to get these things online, not necessarily digitized, but you got to digitize them to get them online. But I'm saying we need to take that extra step and find a company that can get us online and get our information online, just like all the other cities in the area do. We can't continue to just say, do a FOIA request or try to remember what meeting that contract was approved on and try to find those particular minutes, which we've been backlogged on those. And that's not your fault. That's something that you inherited. So just because I appreciate what you're doing and what we have doesn't mean we don't want to strive for even better. And I know that you are. That's why we're digitizing, and I appreciate that. I just want to take the next step and get a portal, however we have to do that, if we have to find another contract to do that, so that we can get our minutes and different things online, our contracts online, and whatever has to take place to do that. I understand there's systems, but we in this council usually don't get into the minutia of those, of how to get something done. And so however that needs to get done, I just want to make sure we're walking and chewing gum at the same time.
Yes.
Thank you.
Anybody
Glad
else
to
have
see that you are moving forward. You're doing what you need. How many times have we said that this role as a city clerk, remember, you've heard it, that it's a ceremonial role. You could easily fall back into that ceremonial role, but, right? And you know what? Somebody else take care of it. But you're stepping up, and I really appreciate it. I do.
I appreciate you saying that, because I do this because I want to leave this place better than what I found it. I do this because I want I want our office to run efficiently, and when we move into the new building, I do not want us to take records. But I have to say that as a department head, as an elected, as a person who runs my office, who knows my office more than anybody here on this dais or anybody here in this room, I say that I cannot stop my processes to then pivot to do something else, because then it takes me off of this and it makes it so that I don't get this done. I have to do it in the way that I know how to do it. I'm not a records expert, but I have versed myself enough in records to understand that I have to kind of stay the course. Once everything is done and ready to be digitized, then we can have that discussion about how things go online. And if IT or the city attorney's office wants to take the lead in that and they want to handle that, I'm perfectly fine with that, because ultimately they're the ones who, those are the people that I have to work with to get those things online. So
perhaps that's a consideration. You should really think about it, and because this is an initiative. This is not just something that it's just not like, this is a new initiative of 103 years worth of documents. We need to kind of.
It's a 2-year project.
I think you're right. How do we find these things? But we got to look at the reality and be pragmatic that this is a lot of documents, man. It's not just any simple stuff. So
I
I
welcome
think we
any
need
help
a
too. I welcome any help going through
so
all
we need a
these.
supporter is in
Look, I have
moving
200
along. That's
boxes
all.
and lots of staples. Anybody want to come and hang out with me? You can come and help me go through 200 boxes and remove staples and paper clips.
Okay.
Just so I have understanding, did you say it's going to take 2 years to do this?
I said this is a 2-year project.
Which means what?
If you look at the, I said it right there.
What does
look at
that
the-
mean?
It means that it started in 2024 and it should end in 2026.
Okay.
Okay.
Good. So yeah, and I encourage you guys to talk about it privately also.
Thanks, Dana.
Oh, and just that is another thing too. Anybody ever have any questions, please don't hesitate. You guys know my number. Everybody has my cell phone number. You can call me anytime and ask me questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Dana.
Thank you so much. Okay, there's a brief presentation by the Hawthorne Police Department on the community concerns related to e-bikes and related education and enforcement efforts. Thank you, Chief.
Good evening, everyone. Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, council members, and those joining us from the Hawthorne community, either in person or remotely tonight. During the city council meeting back on August 26th, there were concerns were raised regarding the safety of the community in relation to the operation of e-bicycles throughout the city. Staff received direction to address these valid concerns and report back to the city council on our efforts. And tonight's report is that follow-up report. A lot of what our officers have encountered in their education and enforcement efforts since August 26 has confirmed that many folks in our community are not aware of specific nuances regarding the operation of e-bikes. While there are always exceptions, generally speaking, e-bikes in California are considered to be bicycles and must be operated by riders in the same fashion as a regular bicycle. So while considered to be just like any other bicycle, there are additional classifications of e-bikes. And these classifications might have additional specific laws applicable to their use within the city. It is the rider's responsibility to know what those classifications of the e-bikes they're riding are. And the riders must know what the rules are for that class of bicycle. So the slide, I'm not going to go into technicalities in the interest of time, but the slide shows 3 main classifications of e-bikes. And as an example of those weird nuances, I will tell you that anyone riding a class 1 or 2 e-bike in the city, a bicycle helmet is required for anybody who is not an adult, 17 years or under. But if you're riding a class 3 e-bike, a helmet's required regardless of your age. And another little nuance for the class 3 e-bike is that if you're not 16 years or older, you're not allowed to ride a class 3 e-bike. So there are nuances depending on what class of e-bike you have. Any e-bike that can travel in excess of 28 miles per hour is not street legal. This prohibition, I think I heard someone moaning that we're the no fun police. This prohibition also applies to e-bikes that originally legally fell into one of the previous mentioned categories, but have since been modified to exceed the 28 mile per hour limitation. So if you buy an e-bike, if you acquire an e-bike legally that has a regulator on the speed at 28 miles per hour, you may not make modifications to your e-bike so that you can now go 35 miles per hour and think that you're riding a bike legally on city streets. The Hawthorne Police Department's priority will always be to ensure the safety of the entire community, and this includes everyone who utilizes our roads and sidewalks. So those are pedestrians, bicyclists, and our motoring public. And since that August 28th council meeting, our officers have been directed to contact and educate e-bike users on any violations that our officers might witness. And the 3 main categories of these violations are listed on this slide. Since August 28th, over 100 e-bike users have been contacted by Hawthorne police officers for a multitude of violations, including the 3 listed on this slide. While our education and enforcement campaign has only been ongoing for about a month now, bicycle safety in general has always been a traditional priority for officers assigned to our traffic bureau. The California Office of Traffic Safety utilizes local law enforcement entities like the Hawthorne Police Department to conduct ongoing education campaigns for the public, usually in the month of May, which is also known as National Bicycle Safety Month. So this slide shows a prepared press release from the Office of Traffic Safety that we routinely distribute and post during the month of May. There are a few of the rules listed related to operating an e-bike or even a regular traditional bicycle in the city on this slide. I'm not going to read them all, but I will tell you by far the #1 violation that our officers have encountered in the last 30 or so days has been persons riding on the sidewalk. And I would just like to add, regardless of whether or not the bicycle being ridden is a traditional bicycle or electric assisted, it is against the law to ride your bicycle on the sidewalk in the city. So again, just a brief recap here on the number of contacts HPD has made in the community since the August City Council meeting. And again, it's over 100 persons riding e-bikes. And if your inclination is that they are being contacted surrounding our local middle schools, you are correct. That is where the vast majority of the contacts are made. They're local middle school kids riding their e-bikes to and from school. In addition to the May educational campaign via the Office of Traffic Safety, we also regularly conduct local education campaigns in the fall when large numbers of students are returning to school following their summer breaks. So this slide has another press release that the Hawthorne Police Department has done, and hopefully we distribute these through our local school districts, hoping that we can get some sort of compliance from those students that are utilizing e-bikes. So for those of you who are interested in learning more about e-bike safety in general, our Traffic Bureau staff has created the following QR code that will lead to an online training course. And with the assistance of Hawthorne Community Television, we've also completed a PSA on the topic, just under 4 minutes long, that covers many of the nuances discussed during this presentation. In the interest of time, I'll not show that PSA at this time, but we do intend to have it played intermittently on Hawthorne Community Television so the public can review it when convenient and hopefully learn how to be as safe as possible while enjoying the conveniences that e-bikes afford all of us.
Chief, is this a new PSA? Or is it an older PSA?
This is a new PSA. It was completed last week. Would you like us to play it?
Yeah. 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 I mean, if you're riding the bike, I want to see this.
Oh, I assure you, sir. I am not riding a bike.
I've been bugging you since, what, like 2 years ago, right? About the
In California, e-bikes are treated like regular bicycles and must follow the rules of the road. Whether you're a seasoned cyclist or new to e-bikes, understanding the rules and safety guidelines is crucial for everyone's well-being. E-bikes come in different classes.
Wrong with the audio.
I think the audio is off. Is it muted?
It is not muted on the computer monitor.
This looks like it's going to be a good one.
No audio on there.
Let's see if that makes a difference. That's not what we want. It should be this one. Well, it might be a little bit quiet, but it's better than nothing, I guess.
We can read lips. Exactly.
In California, e-bikes are treated like regular bicycles and must follow the rules of the road. Whether you're a seasoned cyclist or new to e-bikes, understanding the rules and safety guidelines is crucial for everyone's well-being. E-bikes come in different classes, each with its own set of regulations. Let's break them down.
Class 1 e-bikes are pedal assist with power maxing out at 20 miles per hour. They are allowed whatever regular bicycles are allowed. There's no minimum age or driver's license required, but helmets are mandatory for riders 17 and under. Class 2 e-bikes are throttle controlled, also with a top speed of 20 miles per hour. They follow the same rules as Class 1 e-bikes with no minimum age or driver's license required, but helmets are mandatory for riders 17 and under. Class 3 e-bikes are pedal assist or throttle assisted with a top speed of 28 miles per hour. They have some restrictions on where they can be ridden. The minimum age is 16 and helmets are required for all ages. Any e-bike that assists the rider over 28 miles per hour is not street legal and must stay off the roads, sidewalks, and multi-use trails and paths.
Any vehicle designed and meant for off-road use is not to be used for street use.
The Hawthorne Police Department Traffic Bureau is committed to improving safety for bicyclists, pedestrians, and motorists. We proactively promote responsible e-bike use throughout the city. Our efforts focus both on enforcement and education. We target safety violations such as riding on sidewalks, failing to stop at signals or signs, and unsafe riding in traffic. When juveniles are stopped, we contact their parents and educate them as well. Safety is a community effort. Here are some key safety tips. Obey traffic laws. Use hand signals. Use lights at night, front white light and rear red reflector. Wear a helmet. Travel in the same direction as traffic. Avoid the door zone. Do not ride too closely to parked vehicles. Use bike lanes unless making a left turn, passing, or approaching a place where a right turn is allowed. Yield to pedestrians. Bicyclists must yield the right-of-way to pedestrians within marked crosswalks or within unmarked crosswalks at intersections and between intersections where pedestrians may cross. In the city of Hawthorne, bicyclists are prohibited from riding on the sidewalk.
The Hawthorne Police Department Traffic Bureau launched another round of e-bike enforcement in coordination with the start of the school year. Our focus is on educating riders and improving safety for students, pedestrians, and motorists alike. Over 100 e-bicyclists have been contacted and provided guidance on the rules of the road. With an emphasis on lawful riding behavior and community safety, we offer online e-bike safety training courses. People who take the training will learn about the different classification of e-bikes, what to consider when purchasing an e-bike, rules of the road, and other important safety information. Continued enforcement and education efforts are crucial for maintaining a safe community. Join us in promoting responsible e-bike use. Together, we can make our streets safer for everyone. Thank you for your attention and for riding responsibly.
Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, ready?
Yep. Or any questions?
Okay, yeah, so I really thank you for putting that together. I think it's good to do the public service announcement part of it, letting people know, so give everybody a fair opportunity to know what the rules are. I think a lot of them know what it is, but I think a reminder from our police department directly, I think that's more of a direct messaging, if you know what I mean. So I would suggest, and I think it's been talked about, getting this PSA over to the school districts to distribute through whatever their email channels are to all the parents. So if that could be something that you could do, making sure well, I mean, it's not a surprise you have the Glasgow Park right there, because I think that's been a quote unquote high e-bike traffic area. That's where a lot of the complaints have been coming from. So I think it'd be a good idea just to let them know. In particular, I think this was brought up by somebody, now that we're coming upon the Christmas season, people are going to want to get their kids something. So maybe this might be just informative to the parents, and then maybe we can make maybe an alternate gift decision in time, so that they can make sure that their kids are well trained and just responsible. And I think that's good, right?
Absolutely.
So
we
I
might
think,
reshoot to get an officer who actually blinks during the PSA.
They were like serious, man. I mean, like, hey, there was no smiling or anything, so I think that's pretty direct messaging right there.
Through the,
Yes, go
actually,
ahead.
I have a suggestion. You know how the mayor's going to have the touch of the truck?
Oh,
truck?
yeah.
So have that QR
Not me,
code to
it's the
pass
city.
all the parents that is coming with the kids for the touch of truck. So that because the school district might put it there in their website, but then parents might not look at it. But if we gave it to them and say, look at it, please.
Touching
Yeah,
e-bike.
that'd be great to have that at the City of Hawthorne's Touch a Truck event. Not the mayor's, okay? It's the city's event. Okay, so I just wanted to clarify that. But yeah, thank you for that suggestion.
To the chair.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, Chief. Great presentation. Thank you to your staff, our police officers who are also motorcyclists and know way too much, I should say a whole lot with regards to safety when operating a motorcycle or a bicycle at this point, e-bikes. I would definitely suggest in Spanish. We have some Spanish audience members that definitely need to know the new laws with regards to e-bikes. It should be presented to schools, parent groups, PTA, and translated into the languages most comfortable with. I know folks are curious, like, what this means. So definitely Spanish. Para las personas que están hablando en español, van a tener leyes nuevo para las personas que están manejando las bicicletas de e-bikes. Y es importante que saben las leyes yendo adelante para asegurar que no están recibiendo los citations, los tickets. Right? So it's important. They need to understand parents are responsible for their kids and ultimately responsible for the citation. So big time.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
To the chair. Thanks, Chief. Much appreciated. I do have a couple of questions. On your 100 contacts, is that the nice way of saying these are 100 infractions that your officers found, or are they just making
At this
PSA
time,
notifications?
our ultimate plan is we have a certain number of days that I'd rather not publicly say, where we're focused on education.
Okay.
And there is a day in the future where that education will be flipped more towards enforcement.
Gotcha. And then these safety classes that are offered online, do the participants get like a certificate at the end of it?
You know, that I do not know.
Maybe we could
I
do
do
that
know
as
I
an
looked at some of the questions and I got several of them wrong myself. So there's a steep learning curve with this. There is.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. But that might be a nice thing, have a certificate at the end, would encourage some of the young people, maybe through the school, we can, they can use that. You bring your certificate in and you get a something, I don't know. Thank you, but I appreciate everything that you guys are doing for the city.
Thank you. And again, special thanks to Hawthorne Community Television for doing the heavy lift on the PSA.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
The police department staff will provide a brief overview of recent sighting of coyotes within the city limits, as well as provide, so that's what those were? No, just kidding. Sergeant Kemp, go ahead, sir. Hi.
All right. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, council members, elected officials, and community members. Thank you for the opportunity to present today on an important issue that is impacting neighborhoods across Hawthorne, which is coyotes. Tonight, I hope to provide you an overview for everyone here in attendance and watching online of how coyotes fit into our ecosystem. They help, what we can all do to stay safe, and then show some prevention tips as well and response guidelines in the event that you do come across a coyote, and then what data we do have on coyotes over the last couple of years. On top of being all the buzz on social media, coyotes are highly adaptable canines that have spread themselves throughout Southern California communities, including here in Hawthorne. Coyotes are naturally curious, and when food and shelter are easily available, they become more visible in our neighborhoods. So in 2024, the city of Hawthorne actually only received 3 calls related to coyotes, which feel like I have to say, just kind of like what the mayor touched on earlier, I believe that there was many more incidents than 3. However, this is what we have recorded and what was reported. I do also want to note that of the 3 that were reported in 2024, all 3 of the calls were reported on the north side of our city on 120th Street, 118th Street, and Tarrant Avenue. In 2025, as of this writing, which was on September 4th, there was 19 calls related to coyotes, which is about a 600% increase just so far this year. Of the reports, there involved sightings, pet attacks, and then probably most concerning, though, was that coyotes were making their homes inside people's residences in their backyards and properties. And unlike the years prior, it was spread out throughout the city, not just on the north end. Here's a map of the city and the calls that were reported, and I can say since that map was created, there was another incident near Marine and Cordery Avenue on the south end of our city, but much more spread out, just not on the north end. I mentioned earlier about coyotes playing a role in our ecosystem. They do help control populations such as rodents, insects, and rabbits. They're natural scavengers and help balance the environment. However, when they do get comfortable in a community, they can potentially become a danger not only to pets, but to humans as well. So a couple of deterrents that I want to go over today is that we want to discourage coyotes from lingering and becoming comfortable within the neighborhood. And you can do this by throwing small objects at them, creating loud noises. Coyotes are very skittish animals. If you have the ability, install motion detection lights on your house. Typically stuff will startle them and then they'll move on. And then also another thing that was brought up that was interesting and I did not know of was scents. So like chili powders, perfumes, things that you can put in your yards that, like I said, just won't allow them to become comfortable. Probably most importantly though, we need to make sure that we secure our trash cans and our bins, whether it's making sure the lids are on tightly or making sure that the bins aren't easily just knocked over and then they have access to food. As well as, and I know this is hard as a pet owner for some people, but not leaving out pet food consistently throughout the day. One of our animal control officers stated to me that it's kind of like ringing a doorbell or a dinner bell. As soon as coyotes realize that the food is out, they're just going to go back for more and more and more and consistently. Another thing is, I know that within our city, everybody loves their lawn, their landscaping, and their gardens. But we need to try to make sure that we keep everything trimmed as much as possible. If you allow for shrubbery to occur, they will, being the coyotes, find a spot back there, get comfortable, and then try to make that their shelter. All these simple steps will help reduce the chances of attracting coyotes into our local neighborhoods and then hopefully keep us all safe. If a coyote does approach you, I mentioned earlier about the canines, and they are part of the canine family. One thing is that canines do sense fear, and if they believe that you are prey, they may treat you like prey. So as an adult, I encourage everybody, if you do see a coyote, please do not run, because they may chase you then. If a small child is around a coyote, please try to calmly assist that child away from the coyote and then to safety. And then same with if you have a small animal that's on a leash, just try to, if you can, possibly pick up the animal or the pet and then take it to a safe spot. And finally, reporting. So nice little plug earlier because I was going to talk about the Hawthorne 311 app. So we can actually have all of these resources that I have up on the screen available to everyone on the 311 app already under the animal tab. And then you can also, on top of that, file a wildlife incident report through the California Department of Fish and Wildlife website. And in closing, I do want to say that I do not believe coyotes are really going anywhere. However, if you take these preventions and these steps, hopefully that we can have positive outcomes and not too many negative ones. But any questions, I will try my best to answer them today.
I have a quick question.
Yes, sir.
Are these protected animals? And what if you see your what if you see your pet in the mouth of a coyote? Do you have the right to defend your animal?
So as
I
far
mean, right? You know what I mean? There's that talk about that, right?
yeah, absolutely. And you do have the right to protect your animal. However, I will say that in my experiences with coyotes, as I mentioned earlier, as far as startling them, once you startle them, they'll typically drop whatever they have.
Okay.
I believe actually Councilwoman Reyes English talked about that a couple council meetings ago. And then as far as protecting them, you can protect yourself and your family from them, absolutely. I do not encourage anyone, though, to try to take trapping or euthanizing of coyotes into their own hands.
To the chair.
Yep.
Thank you so much for the presentation and how quickly we're here addressing the issue, right? Coyotes. I remember some time ago back in Holly Park, people were saying, there's coyotes out here at the park. And I was like, really? I didn't believe it, right? Not that I didn't believe it, but I couldn't imagine. And then recently on the railroad at York and Prairie and Broadway, heavy presence of coyotes. But what I noticed also are folks are putting food out for cats,
Yes.
stray cats. So it's attracting cats, and then on top of that, it's attracting the coyotes, right? And you just talked about that. Don't leave food out. Don't, put food out. If you do, bring it in. But I don't folks realize what they're doing. That's a very scary and very dangerous situation.
Yeah, so I can speak on that real briefly. I know in the past at Memorial Park specifically, we had a problem with somebody dumping cat food. And I worked with the Public Works Department and other departments to put up no dumping signs. And typically when that occurs, the issue was addressed and then it ended. So if you do have any reports of that, please report it through the 311 app, and then we'll make sure to address it as soon as we can.
I'm so glad that the fencing, Robert, is finally going up across the street, because that's where folks would come in cars and drop like literally bagfuls of food, and the cats would just congregate, right? So I'm glad that that's finally being done. One other thing, there were a couple of folks that I stopped and spoke with along the way because the coyote had grabbed the cat in its mouth. And those folks that spoke with me basically said that they've tried calling the city, but they were told that they don't handle it. So I just want to make sure, Vaughn, that our animal services or any other department has a resource number to provide versus saying, we don't handle that or I don't have that information. We should always be able to provide a resource. So thank you for that too.
I can jump in there. Sergeant Kemp actually supervises that division, so I know you're working close with your staff to brand that message, correct?
Yes.
Thank you. I know City of Carson put up signage, and they put a wildlife resource phone number. I don't know if it's an 800 number, but it's a resource in the City of Carson, especially after the coyote bit the little boy at the baseball field. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you so much, sir.
Thank you.
All right, let's move on to oral communications.
Pursuant to Government Code Section 54954.3, all remarks should be addressed to the City Council as a body and not to any individual council member. During oral communications, speakers shall have 3 minutes to state their business. The Brown Act prohibits the City Council from providing a detailed response or acting upon any items not contained on the agenda. The governing bodies as a body shall have the discretion at the close of oral communications to refer any remarks to the City Manager for study, investigation, report, and/or recommendation.
Miguel Barajas.
Mr. Mayor, we do have a translation app. If we can prep
Let's get that activated first. Espérese un momentito, ahorita vamos a prender el
Thank you, Mayor.
traductor. ¿Va a hablar en español?
Sí.
Ok, espera aquí para que...
Quería hablar en español.
Ok, denos un momentito y vamos a prenderlo.
Gracias.
Just a moment. This is a, do you have it like larger? That we could see people that in the audience? I don't think you gotta really be up there. There we go. Eso.
Yes.
Órale. What does it say for órale? It didn't translate that. Okay.
Spanish to English, Mayor.
Okay, buenas noches. Mi nombre es Miguel Barajas. Soy uno de los dueños de Tumbis Pizza. Vengo a poner ¿cómo se podría decir? Un caso de mi... quiero abrir una tienda aquí en la ciudad de Hathor. Por 9 años he estado tratando de abrir una tienda y no he podido. Ha habido muchas complicaciones. No me han dicho cuál es el problema. Simplemente no puedo abrirla. He gastado mucho dinero. Puedo decirles el total, como unos 200,000. Aparte de que compré el terreno. Hace 9 años, pues tratábamos de abrir una tienda y pues por una razón dicen que yo cometí un error en poner una fence que medía no la altitud que se requería a la ciudad. Para mí pensé que era bueno porque eran muchos problemas que estaban en ese lugar. Había mucho problema de droga y de cosas. Entonces decidimos, mis hermanos y yo, en poner una fence sin ningún problema. Solamente pensábamos hacerle un favor a la ciudad para que dejara de tener tantos problemas allí. Había muchas llamadas de gente que fumaba y hacía cosas allí. Entonces, el inspector que me estaba ayudando, puedo decir su nombre, parece que es Manny, nunca me entregó papeles firmados donde él me dice o me decía en aquel tiempo que yo estaba cometiendo errores. Él iba y me daba la opción de seguir trabajando, y nunca pudimos terminar el proyecto. Tengo 9 años esperando que me ayuden. No me ayudan. 9 años, gasté mi dinero y la realidad no sé qué hacer porque mi plan era dar trabajo. No vengo a robar, no vengo a hacerle daño a nadie. Solamente quiero abrir un lugar para dar trabajo a la gente y para seguir trabajando. No sé cuál es el problema, no sé cuál es el error que hice yo y no me han dejado abrir. Yo estoy localizado en el 4539 de la Imperial, solamente porque hice un fence que no cubre los requisitos de la ciudad. La persona no me ha dejado abrir. Es todo. Muchas gracias por haberme escuchado y espero que pues me puedan ayudar.
Mr. City Manager?
Mr. Mayor, we have planning staff here. If the gentleman would mind stepping outside, we can have someone talk to him to see if we can come to a resolution to his issue.
Okay, that's the best. Okay, allá afuera van a platicar con ustedes los de la planificación, el departamento de planificación.
Okay, muchas gracias. Es todo.
Pero sí, 9 años es mucho, pero no hemos oído de usted. Usted se quedó calladito por 9 años. También de quién es culpa. Pero ahí le van a ayudar, ¿ok?
Gracias.
Gracias por su tiempo. Yeah, I think he's been dealing with it.
All right, perfect. Pat Donaldson.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council, Mayor Pro Tem, and everyone here. I'm Patricia Donaldson, President CEO of the Hawthorne Chamber. So, we are coming up, next Monday is our golf tournament, and registration starts at 10 a.m., and lunch is at 12 p.m. Tea time, which is shotgun, is at 12:30 p.m., and then the buffet dinner is at 5:30. Our door prizes are wine and miscellaneous baskets, a 50-inch flat screen TV, a golf bag, a weekend Any Airs Hotel, a barbecue from Home Depot, American Airlines tickets to San Francisco, and a weekend at the Marriott, and 50-50 drawing, and we really hope that everyone can be there. And we appreciate everyone that has already sponsored. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, I have two people listed on a card. Only one person can speak at a time. I either have Emily Santiago or Mariana Simon. One of those could come up. Okay? And where's Santiago? Where's Santiago? Because I can't see him. If Santiago doesn't come up to the podium, I think we're going to have to move on to the next speaker. Oh, no, there he is. There he is. All right, all right.
My name is Santiago Simon. The other kids who live on our street is Melanie, Doran, Marcel, Jay, Noah, Jacob, Sophia, Jake, T, and 3 other families with kids. That's 20 kids on Shorty fourth place. We request a speed bump because drivers speed down our street so loud every day and every night. It startles and scares us. We love to walk to Zeta Park or ride our scooters or bikes to school. Our Uncle Wacho was in a very serious car accident, and he can no longer use his left leg. The streets around us have a speed bump, but we do not have a speed bump. So the deadly speeders zoom down our street. Please, City of Hawthorne, put a speed bump and Shorty fourth place, and keep the kids safer. Thank you.
Thank you, Santiago. Mr. City Manager, can we let a member of staff talk to Mr. Santiago Simon right outside just to get some more details? Mr. Santiago? Somebody's going to talk to you, okay? All right, ma'am. Ma'am, would you like to follow up on anything your son, I'm presuming your son said? Because your name's listed on.
Sure. He covered it pretty well. But yeah, there's a bunch of speed limits around us, and so we're the Indy 500 at all times of the day and night, and it is startling and obviously very dangerous for a block with a bunch of little kids. So we really would love a speed bump.
Can you provide your address, ma'am, please?
Our address?
Yes, please.
Yeah, it's 3356 West 134th Place.
Okay.
Our Public Works Director is in the lobby to talk to you and give you the guidelines to request a speed hump in your neighborhood.
Thanks.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Santiago. All right. Again, I have 2 names on one card. Who would like to talk about Del Air? Reverend Merle Gar or Reverend Ellis? I mean, you could both come up, but so we could be official. One person needs to do the talking on this one, okay?
Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, City Council members and staff, and members of Hawthorne. First of all, Mayor, I want to thank you and the City of Hawthorne for the insurmountable support that you provided to the ministry of Hawthorne. I'm here on behalf of Pastor Jefferson. We're celebrating the 80th anniversary, and I personally want to thank Council Member Faye Johnson for assisting us in the proclamations for this momentous occasion. She's assisted us with proclamations from State Assembly Member Tina McKenna, Senator Laura Richardson, and also from Holly Mitchell. And so we want to thank you for the support. I'm going to bring up Reverend Ellis, and he's going to further expound on our 80th. Amen.
Thank you, sir. Hello, Reverend Ellis. Hi.
Welcome. We would like to invite all of you to our 80th anniversary, and we've been here for a while doing a lot of things in the community, and by the help of God, a lot of people have been helped. And so on the 26th of this month, we have 2 services, 10:30 and 3 o'clock. And if you're available, we would love to have you. Thank you very much.
It said 26. I thought it was on the 28th.
28th. I'm sorry. My bad.
28.
Can't read tonight. It's little. You had the right answer. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your service. Thank you for spreading the word. Olivia Valentine?
Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, City Council, elected officials. My name is Olivia Valentine. California Governor Gavin Newsom is calling for a special election in November to redistrict the state of California in response to Governor Abbott's move to redistrict Texas. However, although the governor of Texas is acting lawfully, California can only be redistricted as a result of a redistricting commission, which we already have. In 2010, the people of California voted 61% to create a citizens commission to do redistricting. In doing so, they made it clear that they wanted to remove the redistricting process from the hands of the politicians. So the redistricting commission is now enshrined in the California Constitution. Now, Governor Newsom wants to sideline the commission for his own political purposes and disenfranchise the voters of California, giving the politicians a free hand to gerrymander California with maps drawn by the politicians. The voters should not let that happen. The ballot is presented with a misleading title and summary, and I quote, Proposition 50 authorizes temporary changes to congressional district maps in response to Texas's partisan redistricting legislative constitutional amendment. Newsom summarizes this measure, saying it temporarily requires new congressional district maps as passed by the legislature this past August to be used in California's congressional elections through 2030. The title and summary misleadingly state that Prop 50 retains California's Independent Citizens Redistricting Commission and directs the commission to resume enacting congressional district maps in 2031 after the 2030 census and every 10 years thereafter. So the title falsely suggests that voting yes will retain and strengthen California's Independent Citizens Redistricting Commission. Prop 50 does the opposite. It eliminates the commission for 3 election cycles until 2031 and puts map drawing power back in the hands of politicians, the opposite of what the voters voted for in 2010. In addition, this special election is a massive waste of taxpayer money to the tune of $200 million. I'm going to quote someone who wrote a comment on the proposed legislation. Whatever happens in Texas, we cannot save democracy by destroying it in California. I call on the council to pass a resolution to educate the voters on the website about the pros and cons of Proposition 50 so that can at least hear both sides, because they are not getting both sides from the politicians in California. Hopefully you could also educate them on Hawthorne Community TV as well. Thank you.
Anyone else? Thank you, ma'am. Anybody else wishing to address the City Council before Malign?
Do I start now?
Just a moment, sir. Just a moment. All right, go ahead, sir. Hi.
Hi, my name is Vincent Littlejohn. I used to live in Hawthorne, and my first job was at Hawthorne Pool, and my mother started here at City Hall as a clerk, and she retired here at City Hall. She passed away 7 years ago, and I've been attacked here in Hawthorne twice since she passed away. I filed 2 complaints, once for the first attack where I came out of a church after worshiping. I went to my car and I put on headphones and I'm listening to my headphones, and I was on about the 3rd song going around my car, and I turned around, the lights, police cars came at me and they picked me up and threw me on the ground, fractured my ribs, hit me in the head 5 times. My teeth were fractured. My eye, my left eye, I still have trouble seeing, but my ribs were fractured. I couldn't breathe for 6 months. I filed a complaint. It was after 6 months. I didn't know there was a 6-month limit. A couple of years after that, I think it was last year, I was sitting at a light in my car. A Mercedes paid for it, just put a brand new transmission in there. And I'm waiting at the light, and I could see a cruiser on the side with dark windows, and I saw them looking at me, and I turned on my recorder on my phone, and I didn't raise and point at them, and I said, I hope that these don't pull me over. They got right behind me and said, they got on their blower and said, pull over the car. And I pulled over near Connecticut where I already saw police cruisers already in a lot that had nothing to do with them. And I pulled over in the parking lot. I rolled the window down enough for them to talk to me. He stuck his arm through the window and tried to open my door. And I told him, get your hands out of my window. I rolled the window up and I called my girlfriend. I said, I'm coming there right now. I said, and they had guns pulled at me surrounding the car right there on the spot. And I told him, I said, man, you're scaring the shit out of me. I'm going home. And I didn't make it 2 blocks away where they ran my car on the side of, I was told later when I picked up the car from the impound, it was on the side of a pole and it has $35,000 worth of damage. So I filed a complaint for that within 6 months, and I was told that at one of your hearings it was denied. So I've been attacked twice for absolutely no reason. And on a ticket it said, the first one, something about molesting a child, and they accused me of being under the influence. I do not drink, I don't smoke. I used to drink when I was younger. It's been 8 years since I had a drink, and I don't smoke. So I'd appreciate it if you would replace the damage to my car. It's still sitting in the alley behind my apartment, and I suffered severe trauma behind it.
Thank you, sir.
That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Next, sir. Hello.
You can stay.
Hey, everybody, I just wanted to respond to the a couple speakers ago talking about the redistricting efforts in California. So I'm going to read from an article that was posted about 5 hours ago on democracydocket.com. Texas officially walks back justification for redistricting, throws Department of Justice under the bus. Texas Republicans are officially renouncing the rationale they used to justify their mid-decade redistricting effort as they get ready to defend their new gerrymandering in court. Constitutional concerns raised in July by the U.S. Department of Justice, which the state had cited as the reason for the redraw, were in fact a, quote, mistake. The state now says in a new court filing on Tuesday. The filing also appears to acknowledge that Governor Greg Abbott knowingly misled the public when he pointed to those concerns, saying Abbott used Department of Justice as, quote, political cover to hide the partisan goal of the effort. Starting on October 1st, a federal court will hear arguments on Texas's recently passed congressional map, which is being challenged as racially discriminatory. The map, if allowed to stand, could give the GOP 5 additional seats in Congress while reducing the voting power of Texas's Black and Latino communities. Racial discrimination in redistricting is illegal under the Voting Rights Act, but acting purely for partisan reasons is not. As a result, lawyers for Texas are at pains to show that despite Abbott's past statements, race played no role in the map's creation. In July, Abbott called for a special session with redistricting on the agenda just 2 days after receiving a letter from Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights Harmeet Dillon. In the letter, Dillon urged the state to dismantle 4 majority-minority congressional districts that she claimed had been impermissibly created using race. President Donald Trump had been pressuring the state to redraw its map in order to boost the GOP's chances of keeping control of Congress next year. Announcing the redistricting, Abbott noted, quote, constitutional concerns raised by the U.S. Department of Justice. Democrats and voting advocates have pointed to Dillon's letter as striking evidence that Republicans redrew the map to reduce the voting power of minority Texans. During both legislative special sessions over the summer, Republicans attempted to distance themselves from the letter, with some lawmakers saying they disagreed with Phelan, while they insisted their gerrymandering had nothing to do with race. But in the Tuesday filing, Texas went a step further, quote, a legislative act based on a mistake or that cites a Washington official's mistake as political cover. I'll just end there, it's online. Stand with Governor Newsom, stand against fascism coming from the White House in red states.
Next.
City Councilman, Mayor Montero, how you doing? It's good to see you at the California Democratic Convention. It's good to see you there. Good conversation. I look forward to keep talking to you. I would ask personally that you guys stay out of Measure 50. There hasn't been a president in history that has hurt the black and brown community more than this dude, than this orange man we got in the White House. He literally stole districts from black and brown people in Texas. And the reason why California, I'm head of two organizations. One is the Black Men of California, and I Am the Movement. And then one of the things that we talk about as black and brown people is we don't feel the Democrats are fighting for us. You guys are in a 21st century war with 20th century armaments. These old liberals are not willing to have power over to the progressives. So the fact, I have my issues with Gavin Newsom, I really do. But the fact that he's one of the governors that is standing up to the wannabe dictator, the ODB, Orange Dirty Bastard in the White House, we got somebody standing up. We expect you guys to stand up for us. Okay, so if you're gonna talk about Measure 50, you should be supporting it, because if we don't get the House in November, he will continue doing what he's doing. He will continue. I mean, listen, all the things he's done, gutting the DOJ, overturning all our consent decrees, rolling back Cancer Alley, attacking the Black Historic Museum, calling the National Guard on black folks, calling ICE on brown folks. We understand that. We understand that city power goes to county power goes to state power. We are looking for you guys to fight for us on a local level. So I get to the local. I've been blowing the 311 app up. I still want you guys to please, if you guys can put a sign up. We know we can't park, but we don't know where we can't dump. So when you look at Cordary between 130th, El Segundo and 130th on Cordary, there's a lot of dumping going on there. I went over to Extra Storage, and he said you guys have been finding him. Thank you for that. But they're still dumping. Also on Doty, between El Segundo and 132nd, there's been a lot of dumping. So we need signs, and we need signs with a dollar attached to it. Like if you see a handicap, $250 fine, it's a deterrent. You drive in the carpool, $450, it's a deterrent. We need a deterrent, and we need an enforcement. So anyway, I got congratulations. I read that you guys got the guy to do something with the big turd across the street. I know that by next year he has to get something, so I want to congratulate you guys on that. Please let that be a piece of entertainment and not apartments. When you look at Easter Prairie, that's what's ruined Easter Prairie, is apartments. And I'm also looking for somebody, one of you guys, to step up. I know we're at large, and I can imagine what you guys argue about being at large. I hope one day we can go to district and somebody can focus on Easter Prairie. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Next, please.
Hey everyone, thank you for your time. My name is Hansel from GNU.
1 second.
Oops, sorry.
That's all right. There you go.
Hey everyone, my name is Hansel. Thank you all for being here. All the city council members, mayor as well. I'm here for a couple things. Cool. We have some good updates at GNU. We've been able to. We're working on doing a food drive. Hopefully, it will be a monthly thing. We're working to make it a monthly thing because, as you guys remember, I was here a couple weeks ago now, wanting to bring the food program back. There was a lot of neighbors in the city, people who have personally contacted me about bringing this food program back. And I pointed out, Ms. Dana, you weren't here 2 weeks ago, but I said that, we spoken to you, and clearly at the beginning of the meeting, you guys saw that she's overwhelmed and that she needs help. We're able to provide all the hands, all the labor to get this food program in collaboration with the city done. We can do it. If you guys give us access to the food, we can do the food program this weekend, at least twice a month. I think that program will benefit so many other people right now that need help. Anyways, we're working on the food program ourselves, like we said. Additionally, we've been able to raise over $14,000 to affected families and vendors by the raids. So thank you to everyone who supports the funds that we have, the events that we do to collect funds. Thank you so much. Montero, I forgot to thank you last time. I know my colleagues did, but I wanted to thank you for your donation. It was really appreciated. Also, unfortunately, I was trending on the Nextdoor app, which is an app I should have had. I didn't till now. And they use a picture of me of 5 years ago when I proudly organized a protest against police brutality. I'm very proud of the work that my colleagues and myself did. That protest is the reason why I got to meet mayor and other city council members at the time. Miss Angie was at the protest. And they use a picture of me and a sign behind me that says, Blue Lives Murder. I don't know who brought that sign. Shout out to that lady, but I don't know who brought that sign. And they're using that picture of me and saying that I'm a violent person and that the idea of bringing the food program back should not be supported because of a picture 5 years ago with a sign that was behind me at the right moment. I don't know who brought that sign to this day. But because of the work that we did in 2020, we were able to allocate extra money to the budget of the city of Hawthorne. And we were able to get, I forget the number, but a lot of 18-year-olds to sign up to vote in 2020. So I'm proud of the work that we've done. So if Vanessa, I forget her name, but if you're here, you can talk to me and I can explain you that you are a little confused on what we're trying to do here for the city. Like I said, and we've said, we are trying to help as many people as we can. We know that if the city, I've told you guys, if the city won't do anything, Lord knows we're trying out here. So if you guys want to bring this food program back, get in contact with us. If you guys don't have the means for whatever reason, just know that we're working on it. And hopefully next time I'm here, I have a date for the food drive. Thanks.
Next, please.
Good evening, Council. It's been 2 months since I last spoke with the city clerk, Dana, about the food giveaway. From our conversation, I was disappointed to hear that because of fear, we're still not moving forward with bringing the program back. Well, I did take the liberty of starting a petition for the program to be brought back. We are currently at 130 signatures, which I will happily email to each of you, or you're also able to access this on change.org if any of you want to sign. So are we still going to continue with the excuse of fear? Also, along with Good Neighbors United, we have the numbers and volunteers. We have a plan in place. And how to organize, as fortunately some of our organizers have volunteered in food giveaway programs and have the experience to help distribute. And I also want to acknowledge that Dana does seem to have a very busy schedule, and this project might just be time consuming for her plate. Thank you, Council.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Anybody else? I would like to. No, you just one time, sir. Yeah. If somebody needs, if you want to talk to somebody, they'll meet you outside. Okay?
How you doing?
Hi, sir.
Councilman, Mayor, Mayor, City Council. Glad to have me here. I want to elaborate on this gentleman. First, what's that? I guess that Prairie, between Prairie and Crenshaw, that area. I know it's a lot of apartments and condominiums and townhouses. I want to know, do y'all have a system where you can give to the owners to pick up the trash, you know, to call in for the trash? Because that area is just, yeah, it's like the dump part of Hawthorne. And I know you had in your brochure, you know, everyone want to call Hawthorne their home, but that's not home over there in that area. So I want to know, do y'all have a flyer or something we can give to the owners?
Okay, thank you for bringing that up again. We just can't respond to you because there's probably a lengthy response, but okay. I'm pretty sure we'll address it within our conversations, okay?
Appreciate it.
Yeah, we're aware of that. Thank you. Okay, anybody else? Okay, go ahead.
Hello, City Council. Just want to kind of make an announcement. I think Craig or Greg, I mean, if he needs help with a car, we can probably, you know, help him out. I know he's having like a hard time with that, so just wanted to bring that up to you guys' attention. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else? If not, I declare oral communications closed. So ordered. City Clerk's consent calendar.
Mr. Mayor, I have 2 items on the consent calendar. There are items 5 and 6 for your consideration and approval. Item 5, the city treasurer requests approval of the warrants. Item 6, approval of waiver of full readings of resolutions and ordinances on Tuesday, September 23rd, 2025's agenda for adoption.
I move.
Second.
Okay, I guess I'll make the initial motion, seconded by Councilwoman Angelmes English. Please vote, guys.
Votes are in. Voting reflects mayor and council voting yes.
Thank you, folks. There's no resolutions at the time, but there are some ordinances, Ms. City Clerk.
Item 7, ordinance number 2258, the first reading, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Hawthorne, California.
It's
amending-
actually second reading. It's for adoption.
I'm sorry. Ordinance number 2258, second reading, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Hawthorne, California, amending sections 2.06.020, meetings of Chapter 2.06, City Council of Title II, Administration, Civil Service, and Personnel of the Hawthorne Municipal Code, and making a finding of exemption in compliance with CEQA in connection therewith for adoption.
Discussion. Okay, Mr. City Attorney, since it wasn't listed as first reading, interdelineation through your pronouncement right now is sufficient?
Yes.
To call a second reading? Okay.
So it's agendized as second reading.
I haven't taken the classes, Miss City Clerk. Okay, sorry,
I
geez.
just wanted
All
to
right.
use that big word. Okay, go ahead.
All right, guys, I make a
move.
motion. Oh,
Who
second.
motion? Who motion?
He
Montero.
made a motion. Who seconds?
English.
I'll second.
Okay, moved and seconded. Please vote, guys. Thank you.
The votes are in. Voting reflects mayor and council voting yes.
Okay, so there's no bid openings at the time, but there is public hearings. Miss City Clerk, please.
Item 8, now is the time and place for a public hearing to consider approval of the 2024-2025 Consolidated Annual Performance and Evaluation Report, CAPER, for the Community Development Block Grant, CDBG, and Home Investment Partnerships Programs. Recommended motion, staff recommends that the City Council conduct the public hearing and receive comments on the draft 2024-2025 Consolidated Annual Performance and Evaluation Report. 2, approve the 2024-2025 CAPER for the Community Development Block Grant and Home Investment Partnership Programs. 3, authorize the city manager or their designee to submit the 2024-2025 CAPER to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. No written communications were received.
Is there anybody wishing to address this item from the community? If not, the hearing's closed, so ordered. So, what do we have? Is this anything that's actionable, Mr. City Attorney?
General matters.
Don't you have to
Not
vote?
listed as such.
General matters.
It says to approve the 2024 CAPER for the community development.
I mean, it's just not in the script here, but
Where?
I just.
And
you wanna
there
vote?
is to authorize the city manager or their designee to submit the 2024-2025 CAPER to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development.
So is staff asking us to make a vote?
Correct.
To approve this, okay, so
Yes.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Please, please vote, folks.
The votes are in.
Okay.
Voting reflects mayor and council voting yes.
Thank you so much. Okay. And that could be a document that we could see later as well, but we trust.
Are we good, Robert?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
City manager's consent calendar.
Item 9, first amendment to the agreement with the City of Inglewood for provision of supplemental law enforcement services for special events. Item 10, sublease non-disturbance and attornment agreement regarding Hangar 42 from 395 Park Place LLC to Hawthorne Green LLC. Item 11, Junior Clippers Basketball League Partnership Agreement. Item 12, ground sublease agreement between Hawthorne Airport LLC, Space Exploration Technologies Corporation, and Zellman Hawthorne LLC. Mr. Mayor, that concludes the city manager's consent calendar. May I have a motion to approve items 9 through 12?
For discussion,
Okay.
I'd like to pull item 9, and I'd like to pull item 11, and
Hector, another?
yeah, I'll pull 9 and 11, and I'll make a motion for everything else.
Anybody else? Okay. Second. Please vote on 10 and 12.
One second. The votes are in. Voting reflects mayor and council voting yes.
Item 9, discussion.
Thank you. Chief, do we have Chief? Thank you, Chief. Just so that we could have more transparency and just for clarification, could you just provide a real quick synopsis as to provisions of supplemental law enforcement services for special events? This is to the city of Inglewood.
That is correct. So generally speaking, Hawthorne police officers have been assisting the city of Inglewood and the Inglewood Police Department with special events throughout their city and specifically at their entertainment venues. That would be SoFi Stadium, the Intuit Dome, the Forum, and YouTube Theater. And as a result of collective bargaining agreements that we have with our own employee associations within the city, the cost of the overtime reimbursement for our city employees consistently goes up each year. And we entered into renegotiations with the original MOU with the city of Inglewood in order to ensure that we are being reimbursed for the cost of our employees that go work in that function.
Thank you for the more information and clarification as to exactly what this means. Oftentimes, there's social media posts that will circulate in the community and will mention, just hypothetically, how other agencies from the surrounding South Bay regions are in the city of Inglewood for different events, football games, soccer games, etc. Goes on. And sometimes some of the comments are made how City of Hawthorne is paying overtime for police officers. So the reason why I pulled the item is to hear from you that we are not paying for overtime for police officers. It's coming from the City of Inglewood through reimbursements, from what I understand. Tell me otherwise, but I just wanted to make sure that bargaining units and those renegotiations and whatnot are concentrating on who's paying for what, right?
That is correct. So I do want to be explicit and transparent on this. We do initially pay the overtime cost for our own city employees. We issue an invoice for those costs to the city of Inglewood, and the city of Inglewood reimburses us in whole for the cost of those employees.
Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Thank you. Anyone else?
No.
No? I'll make a motion on item 9.
I second.
Please vote. Sorry, I didn't mean. That was pretty concise. Thank you.
Who seconded that? Was that Montero? Yes. Member Tim? The votes are in. Voting reflects mayor and council voting yes.
Thank you, folks. The Junior Clippers Basketball League Partnership Agreement discussion?
Yes, thank you so much. Item 11. I know that Councilmember Manning made efforts to bring this partnership through the city, Vaughn. No?
No, that's the Sparks.
Okay, it's the Sparks, but we participated, right? We did an engagement with the Sparks and brought students over to the Sparks game and did, correct?
Yes,
now we're entering into a partnership, from what I understand.
2 separate items.
Okay, okay.
Sparks, women's basketball, yes, that is a new partnership with that organization through Councilwoman Katrina Manning. This contract or agreement is with the LA Clippers, which we've partnered with them the last 3 years with different events, clinics also,
right.
Some logoing, and just fan experience. Kwana Bowie's here to answer any additional questions regarding this agenda.
Kawana, thank you. Can you provide just real quick how we are partnering with the Clippers and how this agreement, basically the scope of work for us is in the agreement?
Right. So currently, we are advertising for our youth basketball league. It's $72 per person. In the partnership, you will receive, well, the kids will receive, the City of Hawthorne will receive co-branding jerseys with the Clippers. The program will provide access to exclusive junior Clippers experience, including co-ed skill clinics, regional coaches training, a complete practice and coaching curriculum to support the players' development. Additionally, families will receive access to Junior Clippers tickets, and also they get discounts on the Clippers apparel.
Right. And Robert, just a quick question to you. I know that there's an attachment to the item which provides the agreement, correct?
Correct.
And that's for anyone to see.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Kawana. Appreciate your time. I'll make a motion to move item 11.
Second.
Please vote.
We'll wait.
This is awesome. Where is she? Okay. All right. In the meantime, I'm just going to report that I'm going to be heading to a conference in El Paso for NALEO. It's an emergency preparedness conference, and we're going to be dealing with infrastructure. Obviously, the emergency preparedness aspect of it, but preparing your streets, you know, protecting it from like buckling and from getting damaged, the water sources, etc. So there's going to be a lot of public works type of things that that are going to be discussed. So I would like to report on that when it comes back. So if Akbar's here or Selena, if you guys have any questions that you think you might want me to ask of, you know, the presenters, just please let me know. Okay. Anybody else going to any conferences out here that you'd just like to maybe mention anything? While we wait. Yeah.
I'm not going away, but on Friday I have a retreat. On Friday I have a retreat in downtown LA with the Clean Power Alliance. So we're going to go from 8:30 until 3:00 p.m. And just FY, the last meeting for the Clean Power Alliance, we vote 2 more cities going to join the coalition in 2027, the city of Fillmore and Cudahy. So we're going to have about 37 cities and 2 counties for the Clean Power Alliance.
Oh, wow. How many cities?
37.
Oh, initially there was 30 that joined, right? 30 or 31? Yeah. City Clerk, thank you.
So we're so who's made the motion for 11?
I did. So there's a motion for item 11, and there's
Motion
a
and
second.
seconded.
And second by Montero.
Please vote, guys.
The votes are in. Voting reflects mayor and council voting yes.
Right. So we have a claim for personal injuries by King Stovall. Ms. City Clerk, can you just read those into the record officially?
Item 13, claim for personal injuries by King Stovall. Recommended motion, staff recommends that the city council deny the claim by King Stovall.
I make a motion.
Second.
Please vote.
The votes are in. Voting reflects mayor and council voting yes.
Item 14, please, ma'am. Can you read that?
Item 14, additional funding request for administration receivership account in the total amount of $60,000 for the current fiscal year. Recommended motion, staff recommends that the city council approve the additional funding in the total amount of $60,000 to administration receivership account number 100-1501-000-40744, encumber for the same and approve the blanket purchase orders consisting of the following: Daniel Collins, $10,000; testing engineers to be determined, $50,000.
To the chair.
Yes, ma'am.
For discussion, city manager, please.
This is a city attorney consent item.
Thank you, city attorney. You have again, what is this again? What is it for? It's you said receivership account. What's that?
So what happened in our permanent injunction order on the lawsuit against the owners of the mall property?
Right.
A third-party neutral was selected in which he is to appoint a engineer to do various testing, including for structural integrity, lead, asbestos, and soil. And this third-party neutral, because he was selected from the Gabays and it was approved by the court, we asked the court to allow us to do an independent testing in case we do not trust the results of the testing results that we get through the third-party neutral. So we just want to budget that amount. We already have a person that could handle the testing on behalf of the city. So just in case it's needed, we want to make sure that the testing is done in a fair manner.
I agree too. I want to make a motion for item 14, please.
Second.
Please vote.
Good call, Robert.
The votes are in. Vote reflects mayor and council voting yes.
Thank you, folks. We have one action discussion item, that's mine. And it's titled Code Enforcement Reporting and My Hawthorne 311 app. And we get a report every month.
Every week.
Every week, okay?
Every Monday.
Híjole, man. So you can see it. I stopped looking at it because I can't even sort through it. I can't even find stuff. It's just all over. And who can blame staff for putting that? No, well, hey, I didn't ask for that report to be every week, okay? And I'm just showing you, giving you an example of maybe some people do look at it, maybe some people don't, but I think we need to use the tools that we have at our disposal to be as efficient as possible to take away from, the work that the staff are doing putting this thing together. And we have this big tool that we've been touting called the 311 app, where people are submitting their reports for code enforcement, code enforcement, and we have a record there that we could be tapping off of. We could be getting the raw data from that and presenting it to the city council as a report, as opposed to assembling something that's just written up, typed up, that's might be missing some of the calls that we've been getting. So I'm thinking that it might be best, for efficiency's sake, to be able to get the information from the 311 app, and that could be every week even. It could be every month. We see what it looks like. Does anybody here, could any of the IT people speak to the 311 app right now? Anybody here?
Me, because I create the report, maybe let me talk about that. With that weekly report, it's not just stats, it's updates on continuous communication with residents, meaning that if we have a noise complaint, in that report, it lays out the first communication, second communication, and outlines a resolution. The 311 app is not able to do that. It will just be a noise complaint that's going to come right back to code enforcement.
I'm just trying to make it easier for staff, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Because there's the calls for service, the calls for, I just care the number of calls and what locations the issues are, so that I, as a policymaker, could find the concentration of issues that are located. Maybe there's people like in one side of the city not, having overgrown weeds. What's going on in there? Maybe we could focus on that. Or maybe there's calls for, just the streets needing a little help in certain other parts of the street. That's the type of information I'm looking at. I'm not interested in the fine details as to how how we succeeded. I mean, I think there's ones that I would like to highlight. I'm just trying to make the job easier for staff, so we could use the data that we get from this thing that we started promoting, that we could find out where there's concentrations of different things happening, and in lieu of the code enforcement reporting. But this is the discussion. I'm putting it out there. If the rest of my council, if the rest of my council colleagues see that there's still value in having those weekly reports, that's why I'm just trying to just make it easier. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Well, let me say that, the reason that those reports was being sent to us, because in the past, it was a lot of questioning about what the code enforcement was doing. So that was one of the issues there, right? I agree maybe we can go on a monthly basis, because that report does not have just the complaints from the neighborhoods, but it does also has reports about code enforcement going to inspect some business, for example, right? Or go for make sure that the business is do what they're supposed to be doing, or the licensing, all of those. So there is more than just reporting on issues that the constituents are calling. So I would say maybe, or we can combine those reports with the My Hawthorne 311 on a monthly basis, and then to give us a whole report on a monthly basis instead of weekly basis. If you want that to be last work for the staff, because I understand that Vaughn have to get those reports from the planning or from the public works, and then have to be put it on.
No, thank you, sir. And I apologize, Mr. City Manager. It's not that, as an engineer, I have a different mind and I like to see certain things in a certain way. This is good for the rest of my council colleagues. I like just grabs. I mean, whatever, right? So I appreciate your work on that. But at the same time, assembling that and organizing that, maybe perhaps the frequency can be moved from, if people still want those reports, it could be moved from 1 week, every week to like a monthly basis as a compromise, just to make things easier. And then you could summarize stuff and a little simpler.
Well,
what
that
do you think?
report that
What's your
comes out
feedback?
weekly is just a weekend report, so I just want to make clarification of that. So
Yeah.
the report that's being sent out on Monday is a recap of the weekend. It was directed by council that they wanted code enforcement to be out in the neighborhoods on the weekend. So it's just a weekend report, but as you're saying, if we want to do bi-weekly or monthly, I will take direction.
I'm beyond this whole thing about, hey, what's happening on the weekend, but if people still need that assurance with the report, I mean, I'll support it, but,
To the chair.
go ahead, ma'am, yeah.
Thank you. So I think since Vaughn has become, city manager, a lot has changed. Previously, and you're aware,
Yeah.
we didn't have weekend code enforcement. We didn't have reports. It was more of asking during the time of council meetings and or before council meetings on a particular topic, whether it was dumping issues, code enforcement issues, garage conversions, So we're very fortunate that we're seeing real-time responses and resolve to issues that have been brought to the city manager, either from us or complaints from departments, to departments directly, or even a Hawthorne 311 app complaint. I like to see, say for instance, if I submitted a complaint, it's actually listed on the list and verified on an email format that code enforcement went out there, and it shows warning. They were given a warning because there was actually something there. But this is the process in which they're taking. It's usually a warning, and then usually a citation and or shut them down, right? Because we all know that there's businesses that are operating illegally, whether they're selling flowers, whether they're selling, different items out on the streets, which we all see and we all know that we've heard from businesses that are upset by that, right? They have brick and mortar businesses, they're paying their taxes, they have overhead, they have workforce, that they're responsible for, et cetera, and then the illegal stuff, right? And I know that there's new laws that basically provide permitting for specifics, like instance vending, but there's 3 licenses for that. You get one from the state, one from the city, and one from the county, doing things the right way, right? But I like the reports, and it's just not code enforcement reports. There's other reports. We had one today on economic development, right? New businesses that are going to be opening in Hawthorne. That's one other report. And then we have other reports that speak to, say, for instance, grand openings, which businesses are grand openings, and then basically how businesses are doing and what businesses are bringing what revenue to the city and who's our highest paid revenue business. These are all important reports. I'm not trying to say, and I know what you're saying also, because, it is a lot of work. But up until Vaughn came, there weren't any reports. So I'm actually pretty excited when I see emails that speaks to the well-being of our city, whether it's a public safety report coming from the chief, to our public safety newsletter, to Coffee with the Cop, and where our trailer is going to be located. These are all important, but code enforcement is very important. Code enforcement speaks to the quality of life in our city. And I'm actually excited because here in the near future, I'll say some closing remarks when it's my time. We've come a long way with regards to what we're doing in the city of Hawthorne and how we're doing it.
To the chair. Yeah, the other thing, because we know on the weekends, as I was saying, there was a problem because, for example, roofers was doing the roofs on the weekends without licensing. So those are the kind of things that was been happening in the city in the past. But since now we know how our code enforcement is active out there is no more suspicious of them not doing nothing, because that was once upon a time, right? So like Councilwoman English said, since Vaughn came in, have established all these report that is wonderful, especially the accomplishment. I love the accomplishment. So I would suggest maybe on a monthly basis to send us that report, because we don't need to see it every Monday. Like say, give us one monthly report and then attach some of the from my Hawthorne 311 also. So I think it's sufficient.
I'm gonna just put this out there. I mean, I think we're kind of the frequency. We're already kind of moving towards that monthly thing. Look, Mr. City Manager, you're seeing the data in front of you. You get the stuff like on the, you're compiling everything. However you can think, maybe a monthly report that. I'm going to ask him to see if he could just see what he think is best and easiest for us to be able to get a grasp as to what's happening. If you could come up with your idea of what a good, efficient report would look like, just give you the liberty to kind of figure that one out for us.
To the chair.
Own it, yeah, no problem.
44.
I have a saying, if it's not broke, why fix it? But if you want to modify that, that's not a problem at all. But I will share this, that internally, we will continue to do it weekly. If you want me to tabulate the information provided monthly, I think it's a great tool for accountability in the city. It's a great tool to keep everyone engaged on what's going on. And as I meet with staff, I can address those issues in the community. But if this council wants me to provide this information monthly or bi-weekly, I can actually take direction and do that.
One month if you could.
Okay.
And then just figure out the format that you think would probably be most beneficial and easier to digest for us.
Okay.
And I just want to remind everybody that these reports came before we started promoting the 311 app. We didn't have 311 app. Right. We didn't have that data. So that's why I'm just trying to use whatever we can to move away from manual to digital information.
To the chair.
Yeah, to benefit from that. Yeah, go ahead, ma'am.
If we could somehow integrate the 311 app data with like the code enforcement data, and like graffiti, if they do stuff outside of the 311, just put all the numbers together.
Okay.
Good. All right. Thank you, guys. All right. Well, yeah. We just got to make things efficient so they could focus on kind of some of the prime things that we're dealing with. Elected officials report, Ms. City Treasurer, and then Ms. City Clerk, please.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming out tonight, being a part of the process. Financially, Fed Watch is indicating that there's supposed to be an 89% chance that rate cuts will happen next month. Rates are still trending over 4%. Treasuries are still at a 4-year high, which is up over 1,100%. I just wanted to give a quick report. The rate of return on our CDs this year will be close to $300,000. However, since entering the bond market in December, where I took some of the city's money and invested in the bond market, it has nearly earned this year $700,000, or a little close to $700,000 since December of 2024. So over the life of the bonds, we will probably yield 2.4 million, which is 1.2 million more than our CDs that we have previously invested. So unlike my predecessors, I have made great strides on, help building the city reserves. And I'm grateful for all that I've learned this year, entering the bond market and going to trainings and conferences and being more involved in the financial process. Let's see. Oh, I wanted to wish everyone, students and kids and any adults in the city of Hawthorne, a great school year. I wanted to wish Councilwoman Faye Johnson's daughter, Gabby, an awesome freshman year. Good luck to her. Wishing my daughter a great junior year. She was just accepted into her master's program and studying for the MCATs. Wishing my son a great senior year. And like I said, to the rest of you who have kids and family and everyone in school, I just wish them the best of luck in this upcoming school year. I still work with certain schools in our city, and so I love getting out working with children still to this day. But thank you, everyone, for coming out, and have a good night.
Thank you. I want to thank everyone for coming out. It's always good to see everyone. I wanted to clarify a few things. The gentleman and the young lady here who talked about the food drive, and they keep implying somehow that someone else on this dais has control over the food drive. They don't, I do. And also, they keep saying that the reason why I stopped it has nothing to do with the volunteers not feeling safe. And I want to clarify for the young people that I don't make up fibs, and I don't have a reason to make that up. There are a lot of volunteers, and the operation was massive. I have about 25 to 30 volunteers. Over a weekend, it wasn't just one day of prepping food for about 8 to 10 hours, and then the next day, the food distribution, which took about 4 hours. But I do want to applaud them if they would like to do the undertaking and take on the food drive or take on a food drive. I will help them by providing them any contacts that I have that may enhance whatever food they have now, but I'll gladly turn over some of my contacts to them, and if they establish that relationship, that's fine. But I do want to clarify it for them, and I don't want them to come in here and speak to what or to go against what it is that I say. My volunteers came to me and said they did not feel safe because of ICE, and I respect that, and I won't be putting anyone in a bad predicament by having them come here and have ICE come here and have a problem. And so I just wanted to clarify that with you all. And also want to make sure people know, I know that Ms. Lily Fernandez, she's not here anymore, but she utilizes my notary services quite a bit. If anyone ever needs notary services, please don't hesitate to call the office. And if anyone ever, of course, needs anything, please don't hesitate to call me. I'm here most of the time, and I don't mind helping. Thanks so much.
Through the chair, may I ask Ms. Dana a question, please?
Yes.
Okay, so talk about a little bit about the food program. So when they come in here to tell us about the food, for which to reinitiate the food program, are they looking for a site, a location for us to give it to them?
I don't understand because they have not come to my office to talk to me about it. They just say these things, so I don't know what they're looking for. I have no idea what their needs are. I just know that if they come to my office, I may be able to help them.
Maybe we need to contact them then.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Good. Thank you, ma'am. Councilwoman Faye Johnson, please.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming out. It's great to look out in the audience and see people I know and people I don't know. That's really good. Hopefully you continue to come. I want to say thank you to all the vendors that came out this evening for the Chamber's meet and greet today. The food was great, and our non-food vendors got a chance to share some of their products and services that are available in our city. Also, thank you to Pat Donaldson from the Chamber for doing that and putting that together for us. Thank you, Dana, very much. I do appreciate you and the amount of work that you do in the city clerk's office. Thank you, Marie, for being diligent in making, building the city's reserves, and thank you for my daughter's congratulations, too. Thank you to the police department for your putting together the PSA on the e-bikes and for the offering of online safety classes. Very good, very great start to satisfying the mayor's phobia of e-bikes and killing fun in the community. No, just kidding.
It's your time. It's your time. I'm not going to interrupt.
And hats off to Del Air Baptist and Pastor Jefferson for all that they do for the community. I know they give parenting classes, anger management classes. They do everything they can to keep families together, to help parents. I don't know if a lot of people know, but a simple not having a mattress in your kid's bedroom could get your kids taken away from you. A mattress. And for us, it may not be much to get a mattress, but some parents can't afford that. And, it's great to see that we have churches and organizations out there that will come along with the parents and help them be better parents and help to provide for the children so they can keep the children in the home. City Manager Bond, can I ask you to put out a request for information to investigate maybe software programs or companies that are out there that could provide us with maybe the cost and timeline of how of getting our product online?
Which items online are we speaking of?
Just our anything that could be done via FOIA instead of doing the FOIA request. Let's see what's out there. See what other cities are using. I know Torrance is a big one. They have all their stuff online. I can send that to you.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Thank you. You can go ahead.
Just keep finishing.
Oh, okay. Is it concerning that?
It is, because I provided that what Torrance is doing to the city manager's office, and I believe that was provided to you as well.
Yes, I think Councilwoman is asking for us to go out and put an RFI out to request information, maybe to see how long the process would take to get items online and what the cost would be. Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Okay.
That was in that.
And one of those would obviously be somebody who's already got their stuff online. Yeah.
Are you speaking maybe from a vendor or a company that can maybe handle something like this? Okay. Noted. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dana. One thing I want to bring to the attention of everybody is SB 79. It's a significant legislation aimed at addressing the state's housing crisis by overriding local zoning laws to expand high-density housing near transit hubs. And it's heading to the governor right now for his final approval and signature. However, on any given day, if you Google or go on Zillow or any one of the housing softwares that's out there, you can run and see that Hawthorne has anywhere from 275 to 300 vacant rentals every single day. So a housing shortage is not our problem. Affordability is our problem, and this bill does not address affordability at all. What it does do is we lose control in our city. It overrides local zoning authority and diminishes the community's ability to shape its neighborhood and character. The neighborhood impacts, it will allow for tall, high-density buildings adjacent to single-family homes. They don't care. This also raises parking concerns, privacy concerns, aesthetic, infrastructure demands. They can come in and build whatever they want, and the city has to take up the slack on water, sewage, public safety, schools, parking, parks. No money is given to us for us to upgrade those things to have these high-density units in our community. Risk of displacement. You got market rates. Projects may raise the land values, which is great for homeowners, but it sucks for people who are trying to buy a home or for the rental properties in the area. It could potentially push out long-time residents, and it just changes the whole community. So while the intent is to address the statewide housing crisis, it doesn't address the affordability of housing. And the impact that SB 79 will be felt most directly in neighborhoods like ours, where we have high transit footprint in our community. My position is to ensure that Hawthorne residents are protected. So what I'm asking for tonight is for the council to agree to follow in the footsteps of the League of the California Cities, California City for Local Control, and Mayor Karen Bass by putting a letter together from the council representing Hawthorne asking the governor to veto SB 79.
Okay, we'll let her ask. Can you ask him if we signed a letter? Ask him already?
Ask who?
We already sent a letter opposing that.
We did. I think that was through the league and to the to either assembly or the Senate. But I think she's
We need
requesting
this
we
to
send
go
it
to the
to the
governor.
governor.
Because he's the only one that can do anything to stop it at this point.
I'll support that. I'll support sending a letter to the government
Thank you.
immediately.
Support it, yeah.
Thank you. And that's all for me tonight. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Councilwoman Angie Reyes English, please.
Thank you, Mayor. If we could close out tonight's meeting in honor of Crystal Diaz-Martinez, who passed away on August 31st. That's Sean Anderson's niece. So sad situation. She was killed on the 405 freeway. Giving honor to Pastor Jefferson, his 80th anniversary, Del Air Baptist Church, Del Air Baptist Church has been in the community for years, and Pastor Jefferson has been instrumental in just providing for the community and doing lots of great things. So congratulations to them. Congratulations, Dana Hunter, on your presentation and your efforts to make our city clerk's office tech savvy and having the know-how to do that through efforts and folks wanting to help you to do that. So kudos to you. Continue doing what you're doing, and any help we could do to provide that assistance to you, please let us know. Definitely support you 100%. With regards to my Hawthorne 311, this has been a major effort here in the city, something that we've never had, and so we've come a long way, including our chat. What is it, Vaughn? Again, the chat box. Nate, our little chat box that you could enter any topic and it'll provide information. So, again, I'm really happy about that. Just as I'm happy with our Wordly to be able to translate for those folks that want to speak in their language. So, again, Hawthorne has come up greatly in its tech savvy, and we continue to involve in those efforts. So thank you to everyone on that. September is Suicide Prevention Awareness Month, so we could include that to support, and I believe it starts September 10th. The Chamber of Commerce upcoming golf tournament on Monday. I don't know who's participating in the city, but I always see video and folks out there enjoying their time golfing. So thank you to our city departments and folks that support that, including our businesses and those that have contributed to all the gifts and things that you could receive if you're a winner. Thank you to our city for putting on September 11th, Remembrance Day. That was, I've watched that, and it's always something that I admire about our city, that we always make efforts to remember those in 9/11, but more importantly, support all of our first responders, our police, and everyone with those types of support, because that was, very, very difficult. And I'm glad, Vaughn, too, in that same breath, that we're making efforts to hire an emergency preparedness person. I think we have to take a look at that for maybe full-time versus part-time. I say that because we're having a hard time finding a part-time, and I think the reason for that is because folks are not looking for part-time work, they're looking for full-time work. And I think that's something we need to think about and make efforts to do. Congratulations to our housing department and to those that participated in the ribbon cutting ceremony of our new facade. business that is located on Crenshaw and El Segundo, which is the Crenshaw Plaza. So kudos to everyone on that, especially Kimberly and everyone that assisted in that. That was a great grand opening, and it looks really nice. It looks really, really nice. Let's see. Vaughn, I just want to express again my support for the reports that you're sending. And I do read those and I do respond. And I do occasionally make some corrections. And so I think it's a great way of communicating and, more importantly, assuring that you've often told me that maybe you're providing too much information, but I don't think too much is enough. I think it's just a good way of communicating with us, and I appreciate that because you want to be able to communicate with us and just show the work that you're doing along with other departments that you're ultimately responsible for. So thank you for those efforts. There's some events that are coming up. We have our Hispanic Heritage Month celebration, which is Friday, October 10th. And we are almost nearing the end of our Hispanic Heritage Month. So to all of our Hispanic families, continue to push, continue to prosper in spite of everything that is maybe hindering currently, just to be positive in every way to celebrate your Hispanic heritage. Our Hawthorne Teen Center 11th anniversary, Wednesday, November 5th. We have a Thanksgiving luncheon, and this is the ministers, Hawthorne Lawndale Ministerial Association, who hosts the Thanksgiving luncheon every year. And so thankful for you guys to do that, and that's on Thursday, November 20th. There's also the Halloween Spectacular Carnival coming up Saturday, October 25th, here at Hawthorne City Hall, and that's when all the little kids in our local kinder, is it kinder or pre-K, that come all dressed up from the castle preschoolers and go through each department and get their treats. I think I'm going to miss Peggy, who did the downstairs basement spook house. I hope that those efforts continue because that was really great. I also want to commend our seniors, our senior commission, for their upcoming resource fair, which is Friday, October 10th from 10 to 1 p.m. here at Hawthorne City Hall. Resources for our seniors is important, and I think our housing is important. Knowing your rights, your housing rights is important, and all the resources that we're bringing, including homeless and supportive housing and all of that, which is located at the back, in the back of our Hawthorne Memorial Center at the outreach trailer that we have at Intake Center. And thanks to Dulce and Vaughn for everyone's efforts there. Also want to recognize we have October for our employees open enrollment. A good time to take a look at what you have and consider changes, and it only happens once a year. So make sure you take a look at that, and to our Human Resources Department, Erica, for hosting events such as those to provide resources and information to our employees, our workforce, who I appreciate greatly for what you do each and every day. I look forward to the new year with the 3 capital projects that we have coming up, which is a new city hall, a new public works yard, and a new senior center. So those are very positive things to look forward to, and I'm excited about that. I'm also excited about implementing a new effort to pick up trash, bulky items, and debris on a regular basis, and that's something that internally Vaughn's going to be working with Public Works to assure that we have a 5 days a week dedicated staff that concentrates solely on bulky items, trash and debris, bulky items, and it's not something that we just assume is going to be picked up. We're going to see it and we're going to pick it up because there's going to be dedicated staff to do just that. And I look forward to hearing the tonnage and what we're doing to make Hawthorne not only beautiful and to keep it beautiful, but to provide quality of life so that we don't have to continuously see this type of blight on our streets, in our alleys, and on our sidewalks. And that's really big for me, especially our street sweeping. So, you know, there's often times that our cars that are not moving and reading signs when it's street sweeping and when not to park. And it's unfortunate that we still have folks that are upset with, you know, citations and things like this, but we have to be able to clean our streets, and we can't do that unless those cars are moved out of the way and we're doing appropriate cleaning. So thank you also to our police chief for your presentation today, to Captain Lane, Captain Port, for what you're doing, how you're helping. And I think we had a good council meeting tonight. And with regards to anything else that is political in nature, I just say read up and understand what it is that you're voting on or not. And I don't see it as being a place here for the council to decide. It's a people decision, and I hope that you make the right decision for the right reason. So with that, thank you for tonight.
Thank you, ma'am. Mayor Pro Tem Montero.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Again, good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming, and thank you for listening us at home. Let me just start with the trash issue, right? Because Monito Gardens, that's the area we call is Monito Gardens. And that was something that it's been in my watch for 25 years, to tell you the truth. So, because even one of my nonprofits was named Monito Gardens Improvement, Inc., right? It was to fight the poverty, the drugs over there, because it was formed as a safety committee under the Hawthorne School District. Then it became a nonprofit. So 2019, January 2019, when I was elected in December of 2018, we did a town hall meeting right there at Memorial Center to talk about the trash and the bulky items. Because that time, the Republic Service was only pick up 3 times a year, three pickups a year of bulk items. So we went and renegotiated the contract and gave everybody, every resident in Hawthorne, 20 item pickups a year. Every single address, 20 pickups a year. But people continuing to put trash on the street. It's not just the owner. People in that area, Monito Gardens area, because there is a lot of apartments, because that is where is 1 square mile of our city, that is 5.9 square mile. That 1 square mile is about 70% of the population of Hawthorne in 1 square mile. So they put trash everywhere. Even the school district have come to us and complained that people are putting trash in this next to the schools, next to the fence, next to the sidewalk where the kids go to school. So I tell people of Hawthorne, our constituent, please do not put those couches, the mattress on the street. Call Republic 1-800. They will instruct you how to put those things on the street for them to go pick them up. It's not just us, but the people of Hawthorne. You live here, you go to sleep, you work. Please help us clean up our city. And we're going to do our best because that is on our watch. And believe me, when the Vaughn became city manager, he created a program that where Public Works goes every day to pick up bulk items on the street. It's not just for public service. So I ask, please help us clean up our city, especially the area of Monito Gardens. Don't put trash out on the street. Call the 1-800 number. Or even put on my Hawthorne 311. And then we'll go pick them up. So on that note, and the other one at the Public Works, I would like for my colleagues to support my idea not to call the new facility Public Works Yard. I want to call it just Public Works Service. Take the yard out.
Why?
Because it looks like it's a trash thing. It's like a yard, like a yard is just a place for you to go put your junks. So,
junkyard.
Yeah, I would say maybe we should rename the Public Works Yard into a different, maybe Public Works Service, Public Works something, but not yard. Center. There you go. Who said center? Thank you for that. That's fantastic. Or probably, something, but because you're art, what I mean. So try to come up, you guys can come up with some ideas too. I appreciate that.
There you go.
And again, let me go back to the, I want to say, echo what Council Faye Johnson said about the thanks Chamber of Commerce and the food that came today for the meet and greet. The chicken maison, it was delicious. So make sure also the cafe, it's all organic. So go visit those businesses because they need to make their money, right? So they're right here in Hawthorne. We have this chicken maison, so it's a fantastic. The food is delicious. So it's a Mediterranean cuisine. I want to say thank you to all of those presenters, from the chief to the city clerk. Great ideas about our digital that's coming up soon. The e-bikes, thank you for the education because, even like 2 days ago, I almost hit somebody coming out of the driveway. He was going on the sidewalk with those e-bikes. And then I rolled out the window and said, see, not supposed to drive on the sidewalk. She said, oh, I'm sorry. So, he kept going. But it's true. We see them on the sidewalk all the time. But thank you for that education because even for us, we need to learn. Hey, Vaughn, please, help the gentleman who came in speaking Spanish about because 9 years to open the business. We need to help him up. Maybe send the code enforcement there or somebody talk to him about the fence and maybe come up with a resolution because 9 years, wow. It's like, my goodness. And that boy, Santiago, 3556 West, 134th Place. If we can maybe put some speed hump over there, I appreciate it.
Mr. Montero, I think that's in the county, but we will.
Oh, is that county?
I'll verify that. But police chief has spoken to the woman that was here regarding that issue and informed her that's LA County, but I will recheck that information.
Oh, okay. So maybe we should give Ira to Ira from the Holly Mitchell's office to do that for him because he was cute. So thank you. Let me see. Hold on. Oh yeah. Again, the 80 year of Delaware Baptist Church. I know they've been doing a lot of things with the community. They have helped the school, they have helped the DCFS. With the foster kids. So Jefferson have done a tremendous job over there, and I don't know if he plans to retire soon because I don't know, he didn't show up tonight, so I was kind of like concerned. But I'm hoping that he's not retiring. So okay, so I'll talk to him on Sunday. Again, I want to say thank you to all of you, and because 9/11 was a very good ceremony, I want to say thank you for the staff, Vaughn, and the police department and the fire department that came and spoke, very intelligent about 9/11, and the citizens who came to join us on that day. So thank you for coming. Now, my last thing I want to say is that, and I have to say that Vaughn and you did do excellent job about those reports, and especially the newsletter, but also the police department, the chief, and all of those that participate on the monthly newsletter. I love to read all the stats, so thank you. It's beautiful. I appreciate that too. And I want to say that thank you for my council for signing the proclamation. So last night I had dinner with the Prime Minister of Cape Verde Island. So he was in town for less than 24 hours. So the Cape Verde of Southern California welcomed the Prime Minister and the Ambassador. So the Prime Minister's name is Jose Ulises de Pina Correa Silva. And the Ambassador was the Jose Luis Livramento Monteiro da Silva. So we might be related. So so he came with also the Consul General from Boston to the Southern California for, like I said, for less than 24 hours because he was on the plane 10 o'clock this morning to New York for the United Nations General Assembly. So he couldn't stay for the proclamation here in our dais. So I present the proclamation to him and to the ambassador. So he sent his regard and thank you. And he's excited that Hawthorne is going to be the host for the Cape Verde Olympics in 2028. So thank you for that. And on that note, God bless you, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you, sir. And I hope they bring good food with them, man. That's what I'm looking forward to, right? Some good. There got to be some good delicacies there that we're gonna be able to taste, right? So thank you so much. All right, so thank you guys all for being here. Really appreciate the dialogue that we had, the residents who came and expressed their concerns, their feedback. So we really appreciate that. So we're going to be having, I'm going to just be, these weren't mentioned, but we're going to be having a Hispanic Heritage Month celebration on Friday, October the 10th. So I don't think we have a council meeting before then, right? So I just want to make sure you all know that it's going to be on a Friday, October the 10th. Where we're going to be? Here in City Hall. So you guys all make your way over here and just enjoy some stuff. City staff has planned this out. So, you know, when we let them take care of it, they come up with some good, good ideas. From 4:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Hispanic Heritage Month celebrations. 4:30 p.m., 6:30 p.m., Friday, October 10th, okay? Then, the next day, this is the one that I kind of like too, is the Touch a Truck event. It's on October 11th, the Saturday, the day after the Hispanic Heritage Month celebration, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And it's in the Betty Ainsworth Sports Center parking lot. And if you were at the other one before, this one's promising to be even larger, and it's going to be well attended. It was just packed with kids running around honking those fire trucks and, you know, all the other trucks. And yeah, I think didn't you go up to the top? I did. What was it? Was it like one of those little booms, or what was it called? I don't know what you call it, but you got inside. Right? Oh, he was on one of those little baskets. Yeah, up there. Yeah. Yeah. It was a bucket truck, you know. I was trying to turn it off so you could stay up there. All the way to the ocean. I'm just kidding, man. It was fun. I saw you over there. You were like, ah. It's fun. It's fun. I think you guys are gonna be. I like Rob over there. You're gonna go up there. Try to go because it's you get really good, nice pleasure to see the kids all happy and excited, and you know, just. I mean, I remember when I used to play with the Tonka trucks, right? You know, the same old Tonka, the dump truck. I had that one. You know, everybody has that one, and you know, all these other little cars and everything, trucks. But when we see them in real life as kids, and you see those things like right there in front of me, the real thing, and how humongous they are, it's like a dream come true for a lot of kids. So it's they get really impressed. So I'm glad that we're having a good, healthy way for our youth to imagine things. Then there's also probably there's gonna be arts and crafts. There's gonna be books that are gonna be sold or given away, right? Which one is it?
Given away.
Given away. So that's always one thing that's I'm excited about. We're gonna have a Thanksgiving luncheon from the Hawthorne Ministerial Association, but that's further down in November on the 20th. And Councilwoman Angie Reyes English already mentioned the Halloween Spectacular Carnival. Okay. And we have a senior. Oh, also, there's going to be a senior resource fair. Did you already mention that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm excited about that. So thank you guys all, staff, for organizing, and council for supporting it. I'm not suggesting anybody go to it. You guys go if you think it applies. All right. So I want to congratulate staff and the building code safety groups, planning, and all the responsible groups that are in charge of plan checks for our city. You're doing a fantastic job. And we just have a lot of people trying to do ADUs, build, improve their facades of their businesses, do renovations. I mean, the level and amount of plans that are being looked at by our staff is just proof that there's something good. We've already made the process efficient, but you know, it's just grown to a level that it's like exciting because there's just a lot of things happening. It's not a bad thing that it takes a little bit extra, but it's just a good thing for us. But thank you for working with all the business owners that are trying to get things done. Thank you to the police department for their e-bike public service announcement, the PSA. It looks wonderful. If you could please follow through contacting the superintendents of all those school districts, it's particularly the ones that are in Glasgow Park area. Those are kind of been, there's a lot of little issues over there. But just all of them, and let's just make that happen, make it a requirement. See how you could make it a requirement for them to take those classes, maybe, to qualify to use an e-bike. Whatever you guys think, we could get some bang for our buck. Okay, then we did have a gentleman here that talked about his business, the Tumby Pizza on Imperial Highway. Used to be the old Acosta Tacos. This has been ongoing for the last 12, no, it's 9 years. It's the last time they looked at it. So I'm familiar with this. I think I just warned my fellow colleagues up here that a business is not going to get, their ability to open up is not going to be deterred by a fence, or it's not going to stop them, and it's not a hard stop. You know, they could have easily just done away with the fence if that was true. But there was other deeper issues within the building with regards to the walls and electric. There's just more to the story, so we just have to just be open to seeing what our staff has on record for the issues being. So we just need to be careful not to take sides easily that quickly, okay? That's all I'm saying. The Hawthorne Mall, great. I think it's great what we're doing. We're getting a lot of feedback little by little. Other cities are just getting that strength to be able to fight back to these developers that are out there just taking advantage of municipalities just because they're deep in lawyers. They think that they could play around with us, be able to sit on properties and not do stuff, wait out a council, you know, play crooked politics, get elected officials that are going to be, you know, corrupted and vote for their projects, you know. So we just need to be careful with that, and we fought the good fight. Again, Mr. City Attorney, thank you so much. I know you were silent, quiet, you were not loud about it, but you made things happen little by little. And look, like I always say, you're like our bulldog. And like when it comes to this stuff, look at what you did, man. You fought this crazy guy like a bulldog. That was a puppy. Right there. That's more like that. Thank you, sir. Was that still like a chihuahua? All right, forget it. I'll get robbed too. I'll get robbed. There you go. Eso. There you go. Thank you, sir. The redistricting stuff that's taking place, Texas did it. Oh, now California's going to do it. That's schoolyard antics, man. That's kind of lame, if you ask me. Oh, let's take on Donald Trump. Okay, there's other ways of taking Donald Trump, but okay, they did it. We're going to do it, whatever. California can do whatever they want. I'll vote accordingly. Everybody vote however they want on that, but that's just kind of dumb, right? And it is true. I mean, all of a sudden we're going to do away with like residents voted for, an independent commission on redistricting. I remember even back then we had issues, guys, on this independent redistricting commission. Supposed to be 4 Republicans, 4 Democrats, and like two independents, and one party was manipulating who were the members of the other party, and it was just, it's not what you think, guys. It just gets really crooked when it comes to these things. So, but that leads to, that leads to the next thing. It's SB 79. Think about what it's saying. We're going to be the governor and all these brainiacs. They think they're all smart up there. Scott Wiener. I don't know. I hope he gets goes to Congress and gets the hell out of here. But you got some of our state legislators, very disappointing that they, all of a sudden, look, what are people complaining about, guys? This is what gets me upset. The parking permit, the speeds, the trash that you're talking about building up over here in the east side of our city where there's like a concentration of apartments. The trash is building up. You're complaining over there, sir. Okay, I mean, I don't mean to call out anybody, but you got to be careful who you vote for, because these people are the ones that are screwing things up for us. They're the ones that are exacerbating the parking situation. Certain areas, I hate to use the word ghettoized, but the word ghetto ended up in one of our general plan books in our city at one point when I looked at it. parts of our city were referred to as a ghetto by our own staff like 20 years ago. Okay? So we just need to really be careful to, who you vote for. SB 79 promises to allow for, what's the circumference? It's like a circumference that goes deeply into Hawthorne around the traffic centers that we have, okay? The traffic of, the metro stations that we have. Okay. I understand the concept of needing more housing, okay? But what happened to the affordability aspect? The affordability aspect is really where it's at. And, things are, I mean, it's only been one party in charge for the last 30 years. I don't want to make it a political thing. And so the only people we can influence are that party that's in control to stop coming up with these stupid ideas like this. Right? So it just exacerbates the problem. It's irresponsible, and it causes these problems that we're hearing about today. Okay? I see that, what makes me sad is seeing all the young people come to the city council meetings. Very difficult now as a young kid for a lot of even adults to buy a home, to get a job that's going to be able to even pay the rent. Okay, so, there's just a lot of things that we need to do to be able to get people to work, being able to afford, living in this state. It's hard. That's why people move out. And even all the other states are starting to get a kind of, affected. So I just think we need to be very careful not to get too excited about one party over the other. That's all I'll say. I'll keep it like that. But because, look at what's happening in our state. Right? Look what's happening in our state. So I think it's going to be difficult to promote a candidate from this state to win a federal election. So let's just make sure we can control what we have. Please back us up when we're asking you guys to support us so that we don't have to deal with these issues in the future, okay? I think there's other ways of doing things. Is there anything else from my city council colleagues? Go ahead.
I forgot to add that as a citizen, feel free to call the governor's office and tell him to veto SB 79. This is just one letter from the city. We need each and every individual, including the young people who want to eventually be able to afford to rent or buy, to make that call to the governor's desk and tell him to veto.
I don't want to mention anything specifics, but the last thing before I close out is I think we just need to make sure that we try to stay divided, Republican, Democrats, as much as we can, black, brown, white. We try to stay as united as possible, try to look over our differences. Let's not let those dark forces that exist out there to try to divide us. Okay? If that means anything to you, it means something to you. I'm not going to say specifics, but there's dark forces out there that are making you think that certain things that are happening, trying to blame it on other people to pit us against each other. And that's not the case. Okay? So let's just be very careful that we try to stay as united, try to find common ground, and stay united as a country, please. Okay. But I'd like to please close out. Okay, so I'd like to close out the meeting tonight. You heard it from Councilwoman Angie Reyes English, Crystal Diaz-Martinez, who passed away on August 31st in an accident on the freeway. It was just very, very, a bad situation, right? And she's the niece of Sean Anderson. She's one of our boosters here in the city, and she supports the city of Hawthorne, but she's really sad right now because of what happened. So if we can join them in a small moment of silence, please. May Crystal Diaz-Martinez rest in peace. Huh? All right, so this meeting's adjourned at 9:07.